If we had called this a miracle service, the building would have been full. But Jesus didn't like crowds. He didn't trust them. He fed them and then dismissed them. He taught 12, he mentored 3, and he sent 70 on probation. My real love is a room like this, small, chosen, committed. You didn't come to be entertained. You came to be trained. Write this down. This is not a show. This is an intensive. This is a lab. High accountability. Compressed time. Maximum discovery. You're not here to watch. You're here to work. Say it with me. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Louder. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Genesis 1:26 says, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. That is not religion. That is design. It is specification from the manufacturer. Jeremiah 1-5 declares, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. You didn't arrive to find an assignment. You arrived because you are one. And tonight, I am issuing you an invitation to meet yourself. In 24 hours, you will be introduced to yourself. Not the self your culture tolerated. Not the self your job rented. The self heaven authored. Write this down. Time is a governor of purpose. We are putting your purpose on a clock. Why? Because procrastination is the arrogance that assumes you own tomorrow. You don't. Teach us to number our days, says Psalm 90-12, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. So here's the mandate. In the next 24 hours, I will confront your identity, reset your belief system, reframe your understanding of leadership, run you through 4 drills, and deploy you with a 2-4-hour action stack and a boundary fence. I am not here to impress you. I am here to introduce you to you and then push you out of the nest. Let me set the terms. If you came for comfort, wrong room. If you came for applause, wrong teacher. If you came for excuses, wrong night. But if you came to reclaim the image and likeness stamped into your spirit, welcome home. We are going to ask hard questions and require real answers. This is training. Soldiers, not spectators. Write this down. Accountability will be your friend for the next 24 hours. What you say, we will measure. What you decide, we will date. What you promise, we will verify by fruit. Matthew 7:20, by their fruits you shall know them. Not by their feelings, not by their followers, by their fruit. You are stepping into a compact, high accountability lab designed to reveal the leader already in you fast. True leadership is self-discovery. You will never become a true leader until you are introduced to yourself. Say it with me. I am about to meet me. Again, I am about to meet me. And I warn you, you might be shocked at how powerful you really are when the fog of culture lifts. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. We will deal with that heart, the subconscious programming that sets your speed limit below your design. I'll show you there is life after the limit because your belief is the governor of your capacity. Change your belief and your capacity obeys. Tonight we begin with identity before activity. Image, likeness, dominion. Not job title, not public opinion, not religious labels. You are not what they call you. You are what he created. Then we will reset your belief system because leadership is 80% mentality and 20% skill. We will expose the lies you inhaled and install the truth you were wired to run on. After that, we will reframe leadership. Write this down. Leadership is function, not position. Who is the leader? No one. And everyone. Like an engine, every part leads when it does what it was designed to do. Importance is contextual. A $4 wire can shut the whole car down. So don't chase a title. Deliver your function. Deliver fruit. Now, listen carefully. Write this down big and bold. 415-minute drills will surface your assignment, confirm your gift, and plant a vision seed. Drill 1, assignment, audit, name the unacceptable. Because leadership is born when toleration ends. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Your assignment is hiding in what you can no longer tolerate. Drill 2, gift inventory. What flows without a paycheck? Your gift identifies you. Your job pays you. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. Drill 3. Write your work statement. When your work is defined, employment becomes optional and deployment becomes inevitable. Drill 4. Plant the vision seed from picture to path. Vision is more important than leadership, because if the blind lead the blind, both fall into a ditch. Matthew 15:14. Vision tells your gift where to go. I am going to press you for evidence. Talk is cheap. Vision must become a schedule. Faith must become a calendar. James said, show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. This is why we are compressing this into 24 hours. Kinetic faith, scheduled conviction. After the 4 drills, we will stack actions you can execute within 24 hours, and we will build a boundary fence to protect your focus. Because purpose without boundaries bleeds to death. Write that down. Let me preview the journey. First, we strip off the false names and hand you back the manufacturer's label, image, likeness, dominion. Then we crack the belief system that domesticated you. Deliverance is not freedom. Israel left Egypt in a day. It took 40 years to get Egypt out of their minds. We don't have 40 years. We have 24 hours to start. Next, we dethrone titles and install function. Leadership is service of your discovered gift to humanity. Leaders don't seek followers. Followers are attracted to leaders. Then we move. 4 drills, 15 minutes each. No excuses, no delays. Finally, we deploy you with a concrete 2-4-hour action stack, and we commission you with declarations that align your mouth with your mandate. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. You will speak who you are, show what you have, and serve until your fruit makes room for you. Say this with me. The world needs me. Louder. The world needs me. Why? Because God never creates anything that is not needed. Ephesians 2:10 says, we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we should walk in them. Your existence is proof of a problem you were sent to solve. Your birth certificate is heaven's announcement, assignment on earth. So, welcome to the chosen room. This is a covenant space. You didn't wander in. You were summoned. Heaven has an agenda for your life and a timetable for your obedience. In 24 hours, you will be introduced to yourself. I'm going to hold a mirror to your spirit until you recognize the leader staring back. Write this down and underline it. I am not here to be employed. I am here to be deployed. Over the next hours, open your heart, sharpen your mind, and surrender your excuses. Bring your pen, your pain, and your potential. We begin now. Identity before activity. Design before duty. Open your manual to the first blueprint. Genesis 1:26 says, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish, the birds, the livestock, and over all the earth. Write this down. Image and likeness authorize dominion. God did not say, let us make man to have religion. He said, let them have dominion. That is specification. That is manufacturer's intent. The Hebrew word for human as a species is ish. This is not male and female issues. This is species design. When he stamped ish, he encoded leadership. And the root of dominion is rad to rule, to prevail, to govern by design. That means dominion is not aggression, it is alignment. It is the natural result of an accurate identity. Say it with me. True leadership is self-discovery. Again, true leadership is self-discovery. Write this down. You will never become a true leader until you are introduced to yourself. The greatest crisis on earth is not money, it's identity. It is possible to be busy and still be lost. It is possible to wear titles and still be unemployed from your purpose. Activity is no proof of authority. Fruit is the evidence of identity. By their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:20. Your fruits flow from your roots, and your root is image and likeness. Let me teach this slow. Image is capacity. Likeness is character. Dominion is commission. Image is your nature mirrored from your source. Likeness is your behavior patterned after his. Dominion is your authorized function. You do not grab dominion. It is conferred by design. That's why Genesis says image and likeness first, then let them have dominion. Write this down. Design precedes duty. Nature precedes function. Identity precedes assignment. If you invert that order, you will hustle for worth that you already possess. You are not trying to become. You are recovering what was decreed. Psalm 8 echoes this. What is man that you are mindful of him? You have made him a little lower than Elohim and crowned him with glory and honor. You made him to have dominion over the works of your hands. Crown before career. Identity before industry. I need to confront a lie you inhaled. Culture told you your value is your job description. That is idolatry of employment. Write this down. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Jobs change with economies. Design doesn't change at all. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. Romans 11:29 says, the gifts and calling of God are without repentance. He doesn't take them back. So stop letting a business card prophesy who you are. You are not what they call you. You are what He created. Say this with me. I am image. I am likeness. I was authorized for dominion. Let me give you a picture. A woman in a village used her expensive smartphone to prop open a window. She said, look, it's useful. The manufacturer saw it and wept. The device had capacity for global connection, navigation, creation, reaching nations, yet it was enslaved to a window. Culture will celebrate you for propping open windows. The manufacturer designed you to open worlds. Write this down. Purpose is manufacturer defined, not culture assigned. When you don't know purpose, abuse is inevitable. To abuse is to abnormally use. Many of you have been abnormally used by systems that needed your time but never honored your design. Tonight, I return you to the manual. The first page says image. The second page says likeness. The third page says rad rule according to design. I remember a young man who came to me crying. They downsized me. I said, they did not downsize you. They canceled your contract. Who are you without that building? He blinked. I pushed. Describe your work, not your job. He mumbled titles. I said, no. What do you do effortlessly that produces fruit? What flows without a paycheck? He whispered, I solve complex problems and make systems simple. I smiled. That's your work. The building rented your work. They can't own it. We wrote a statement. He deployed himself, and within months he wasn't applying for positions. Positions were applying for him. Write this down. When identity is accurate, authority is natural. Now, some of you have prayed for dominion like it's a goosebump. Dominion is not a Sunday experience. It's a Monday expression of image and likeness. In Hebrew thought, to be in the image of a king implies you act on the king's behalf. Likeness is representation. That's why Jesus said, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father, John 14:9. He modeled image and likeness perfectly, then exercised authority without begging. He spoke to storms not because he was loud, but because he was aligned. Write this down. Alignment authorizes commands. When you find you, your voice finds weight. Let's do surgery on language. The word ish reminds you that you are of a species designed for rulership, male and female. Not domination of people. Dominion over Earth's resources, systems, and problems. The word rad means to prevail, to tread down obstructive chaos, to bring order according to heaven's intent. The first assignment was not to micromanage humans. It was to manage creation. So leadership is not a rank above people. It is responsibility for a domain. The heavens are the Lord's, but the earth He has given to the children of men. Psalm 115:16. Write this down. Find your domain and your name will be remembered there. Fail to find it and you will rent your life to demands that do not match your design. Say it with me again. True leadership is self-discovery. Louder. True leadership is self-discovery. You are not meeting a celebrity. You are meeting yourself. You are not chasing a title. You are reclaiming a nature. That's why Jesus began with identity at the Jordan. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Matthew 3:17. Pleasure before performance. Identity before miracles. He had done nothing publicly, yet heaven affirmed him fully. Write this down. Identity is the womb of productivity. If you start from acceptance, you produce from rest. If you start from insecurity, you perform for approval and call it ministry. Let me tell you a story. In a certain town, all the mirrors were warped. Children grew up seeing themselves bent and small. They compensated with costumes, big hats, tall shoes, loud colors to feel larger. One day a traveler brought a true mirror. The first boy who looked into it trembled. He had shoulders he never saw, eyes he never trusted, stature he never believed. He dropped the costume and walked different. The town called him proud. He wasn't proud. He was accurate. Write this down. Accuracy will be misnamed arrogance by those who profit from your confusion. Do not return the mirror to keep their peace. Keep the mirror and enter your mandate. So here is your decree. Say it with me. I accept who I am by design, not what I do by demand. Again, I accept who I am by design, not what I do by demand. Leadership begins right there. Before the drills, before the methods, before the calendar identity. The world does not need a busier you. It needs a truer you. Stop letting demands draft you into roles that betray your blueprint. Your belief about you is the lid on your life. Lift the lid by receiving the label God placed on you. Image, likeness, dominion. And hear me, this is not motivational fluff. This is constitutional law from the king. Let them have dominion, not let a few. Let them. That includes you. Now write this last line in bold. I will not let culture employ what heaven designed to deploy. I will discover me, accept me, and from that place I will lead. Now we confront the birthplace of your assignment. Write this down. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Say it with me. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Again, leadership is born when toleration ends. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. That's not a quote for your wall. It is an alarm for your soul. Toleration is the anesthesia that numbs destinies. Toleration is the subsidy of dysfunction. Toleration is consent dressed like patience. And some of you have baptized dysfunction and called it normal because your culture told you endurance is holiness. No. Endurance of injustice is not holiness, it is abdication. Woe to those who call evil good and good evil. Isaiah 5:20. Write this down. If you normalize what God condemns, you incarcerate your assignment. Rosa Parks reached the threshold. Tired feet? Yes. But her real fatigue was not in her legs, it was in her soul. She said, I'm not moving to the back today. That decision, private, internal, final, ignited public change. The day she stopped moving for the system started moving for her people. She didn't start a committee. She didn't fill out a grant. She confronted toleration. And leadership was born. She decided to stop merely praying and become an answer to her own prayer. Write this down. Prayer without a plan is a wish. Faith without works is dead. When your amen becomes action, movements begin. Scripture is saturated with people whose assignments were revealed at the edge of intolerable. David arrives at the battlefield and hears Goliath mocking the armies of God. Everyone else called it the news. David called it unacceptable. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? 1 Samuel 17:26. That question was his assignment knocking. Nehemiah hears that the walls of Jerusalem are broken down and the gates burned with fire. He says, when I heard these words, I sat down and wept and mourned many days. And I prayed before the God of heaven. Nehemiah 1-4. He cried until the crying gave him a calendar. Then he stood before a king, asked for letters, and rebuilt in 52 days. Jesus walks into the temple, sees commerce choking prayer, and refuses to tolerate it. My house shall be called a house of prayer, but you have made it a den of thieves. Matthew 21:13. Assignment moves you from sorrow to strategy, from disgust to design, from anger to action. Write this down. Your assignment is hiding in what you can no longer tolerate. Specific injustice, disorder, or waste you refuse to live with. Some of you have a holy allergy. Every time you see wasted potential in youth, you itch. Every time you smell bureaucracy slowing progress, you cough. Every time you read sloppy budgets, you get a fever. That is not irritation. That is indication. God whispers through discomfort. He pulls your purpose by the thread of what you refuse to accept. John 6:12, after feeding the multitude, Jesus says, gather up the fragments that remain so that nothing is lost. Even the Savior could not tolerate waste. Write this down. Leaders are allergic to waste. Leaders are violent against disorder. Leaders are intolerant about injustice. For I, the Lord, love justice. Isaiah 61:8. If your father loves justice, his children cannot make peace with injustice. So here is the audit. What have you baptized as normal? The lateness you laugh about? The broken process at work you survive by workaround? The cultural gossip in your department you rename community? The fatherlessness in your neighborhood you chalk up to statistics? The mode of mediocrity in your church masked as humility? The clutter in your home you excuse as creativity? Write this down. What you permit, you promote. What you promote, you propagate. And what you propagate, you will be punished by. You don't need a demon for what discipline can fix. You don't need deliverance from what decisions can change. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. That is a decision to renounce toleration and reset standards. Let me provoke you. If you keep saying, that's just how things are, you have surrendered the steering wheel of your destiny to culture and convenience. The lion and the elephant see the same animal. The elephant sees danger. The lion sees lunch. Your eyes say, this is the way it is. Your belief system replies, not anymore. Write this down. Assignment is the collision of anger and vision. Anger at what is, vision for what must be. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. If your heart tolerates it, your life will host it. If your heart rejects it, your life will evict it. Our problem is that we have confused meekness with weakness. Meekness is strength under control, not surrender to disorder. Be angry and sin not. Ephesians 4:26. That means channel the emotion into construction, not destruction. Speak up, but don't burn it down. Build it better. A holy discontent is a midwife to destiny. It pushes until purpose breathes. Write this down. Emotion is the fuel. Assignment is the wheel alignment. Anger without assignment is a riot. Assignment without anger is a memo. But anger married to assignment becomes a movement. Who should fix this? Who's the leader here? No one. And everyone. Distributed leadership means you do not wait for a title to behave like a thermostat. Thermostats don't announce. They adjust. If God has exposed you to a problem repeatedly, He is inviting you to be the solution distinctly. Esther 4:14. Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Translation. Stop tolerating the time. Start interpreting the time. Your exposure is evidence of election. Now, put your life on the table. Write this down. List 3 environments where your spirit says, enough. It could be the chaos of your calendar, the low standards of your team, the silence around an injustice you witness weekly, the waste of time in meetings, that should be emails, the absence of mentorship for boys on your street, the way money leaks through undisciplined habits, name it. Because what you refuse to name, you will unconsciously nurse. Name the unacceptable. When you label the cancer, you schedule the surgery. Let me warn you with love. Toleration is easier than transformation. Toleration costs you nothing today and everything tomorrow. Transformation costs you courage today and gives you everything tomorrow. Write this down. Pain now or pain later. But pain is inevitable. Only one kind pays dividends. Leaders choose the pain of confrontation over the pain of regret. Open your mouth for the speechless. Judge righteously and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Proverbs 31:8-9. That is not optional for leaders made in His image. That is assignment language. Say it with me. I refuse to tolerate what God did not design. Again. I refuse to tolerate what God did not design. Louder. I refuse to tolerate what God did not design. Your assignment is rising in your throat as a sentence and settling in your spirit as a standard. In a moment we will drill 15 minutes to name the unacceptable with precision, but the labor has begun now. Somewhere between your sighs and your anger lives the map to your mandate. God is not sending you to everywhere. He is aiming you at the one place you can no longer walk past. Leadership begins where your excuses end. Leadership is born when toleration ends. Your refusal is holy. Your no is righteous. Your standard is a key. And when you turn that key, doors will open, not because you begged them, but because you became the kind of person who cannot live in a room without fixing the lights. This is your birthplace. Push. Mind before methods. Belief before behavior. Write this down. Leadership is 80% mentality and 20% skill. You can teach a parrot methods. You cannot program a parrot to rule. Skill without the right belief system is a race car with the handbrake on. Proverbs 23:7 declares, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Not as he thinketh in his head. Heart. In Hebrew, that word is leb, the subconscious, the control center, the operating system. Your life is the software running on your heart. You don't rise to your goals, you default to your system. Change your belief and your capacity obeys. Let me explain how this works. The heart is not the organ pumping blood. It's the invisible hard drive of your life. It stores your self-concept, your definitions, your worth, your limits. It includes the voices you believe. Parents, teachers, pastors, bullies, media. It's the place where images live. If your operating system is infected with a low identity virus, every program you open, marriage, business, ministry, will crash under the same error message. Not authorized. Write this down. Your results reveal your installed beliefs. If you keep producing the same fruit, stop changing trees, upgrade soil, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. Life flows from the inside out. Now, picture the king of beasts. The lion is not the strongest in the jungle. The elephant outsizes, outweighs, outmuscles him. But when the lion sees the elephant, his eyes report size. His belief reports lunch. The elephant sees the lion. His eyes report smaller. His belief reports eater. And the elephant runs. The lion's stomach is not the source of his leadership. His attitude is. Write this down. Eyes see facts. Belief assigns meaning. Attitude authorizes action. The lion leads because he thinks like a leader. Say it with me. My eyes report size. My belief decides response. Again, my eyes report size. My belief decides response. Stop waiting for your environment to shrink. Adjust your belief until your attitude eats what used to intimidate you. Some of you are obeying signs that culture nailed into your mind. The car you drive has a speedometer that tells you your design capacity may be 220 kilometers per hour. That gauge is internal. But beside the road are speed limit signs 60, 80, 100. Those are external. Many of you have confused limits with design. You respect the sign more than the speedometer. Write this down. Culture sets ceilings. Belief sets velocity. This is why two people with the same education and the same exposure will not travel at the same speed. One is negotiating with a sign, the other is obeying his design. Romans 12:2 says, be not conformed to this world. Don't mold to the sign, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Tune your internal gauge. The Greek word for transformed is metamorphosis. That's a caterpillar becoming what it always was in code. Your mind renewal doesn't add wings, it releases them. Let me take you on a drive. I was in Germany on the Autobahn. No posted speed limits in certain stretches. Legal liberation. I pushed the pedal and the car surged past 120, 150, 170. I discovered there was life after 170. My palms were sweating. My brain was screaming because my Bahamian speed limit culture was still in the car. The road was free, but my mind was still handcuffed to a sign from another country. When I returned home, the sign reappeared and I obeyed it, but something had shifted. I had proof of capacity. Write this down. A moment of ungoverned experience will expose the lie of your limits. Many of you need an Autobahn in your mind, 150-minute sprint where you silence every opinion and test your design. You'll return to society's limits for wisdom, but you will never again worship them. Say it with me. There is life after my last limit. Jesus proved this law of belief. Mark 6:5 says, in his own hometown, he could not do many mighty works there because of their unbelief. Not that he would not. He could not. The Son of God's capacity was resisted by the environment's belief. If belief could restrict Jesus' works in a town, what is your unbelief restricting in your life? Write this down. The greatest opposition to your future is not the devil. It is the disbelief you host. The devil doesn't need to chain your hands if he can train your heart. Numbers 13 gives us another picture. 12 leaders saw the same land. 10 returned saying, we were like grasshoppers in our own sight, and so were we in theirs. Notice the order. In our own sight, then in theirs. Your self-perception dictates your enemy's estimation. They never asked the giants for a survey. They projected their belief and called it reality. Joshua and Caleb with a different spirit said, we are well able. Same giants. Different belief. Different outcome. Write this down. The problem is never the giant. It is the grasshopper installed in your heart. Delete the insect. Install the image. Gideon was hiding in a winepress when heaven addressed him. The Lord is with you, you mighty man of valor. Judges 6:12. He responded with family pedigree and regional statistics, classic belief system defense. God ignored his resume and attacked his mindset. Go in this might of yours. What might? The one heaven saw. Gideon's assignment didn't change. His identity did. Methods didn't transform him. Mindset did. Say it with me. I will go in the might heaven sees. Again. I will go in the might heaven sees. Now let's get technical. Your heart, Leb, the subconscious, does not respond to facts. It responds to repeated, emotionally charged images and words. That's why God told Joshua, this book of the law shall not depart out of your mouth, but you shall meditate in it day and night. Then you will make your way prosperous. Joshua 1-8. Meditate means mutter, chew, rehearse. Mouth trains mind. Mind governs motion. Motion produces manifestation. Write this down. Repetition engraves permission. If you keep saying I'm broke, your heart grants you the permission to stay there. Change your confession. Change your condition. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your tongue is the pen that writes on your heart. I'm going to press you now. Stop asking God to increase capacity you do not believe you deserve. He will not violate your heart to answer your mouth. Your belief is the governor on your engine. Remove the governor. The engine will surprise you. How do you remove it? 3 steps. 1. Identify the limiting sentence you inherited. It usually starts with, I can't. People like us don't. Or, in this family, we. 2. Replace it with constitutional truth, image, likeness, dominion attached to Scripture. For example, I have the mind of Christ. 1 Corinthians 2. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. 3. Rehearse it until your emotions agree. Your goal is not hype. It is habit. Write this down. Your future changes when your new truth feels normal. I will give you a simple diagnostic. When opportunity knocks, do you instinctively shrink or stretch? Do you say, I'm not ready, or I will grow into it? Lions grow into lunch. Grasshoppers negotiate with giants. Attitude precedes appetite. If your default is shrink, your system is corrupted. Reset it. Feed your heart evidence of your design. Keep a fruit file, save messages, testimonies, measurable results that tell your heart, this is normal for us. The heart respects proof. Let me bring the speedometer back to your desk tomorrow. Some of you have been cruising at 55 inches, a 220-engine marriage, in a 220-engine business, in a 220-engine ministry. You call it balance. It is bondage. Balance is not smallness. Balance is alignment. If your design was built for velocity, going slow is not holiness, it's disobedience to purpose. Write this down. Wisdom chooses when to honor the sign. Foolishness worships the sign. On the Autobahn of vision, you must accelerate. In neighborhoods of relationship, you must slow. That is maturity. But you decide from belief, not fear. Say it with me. Change my belief and my capacity obeys. Again, change my belief and my capacity obeys. Louder. Change my belief and my capacity obeys. This is why vision is vital to mindset, because pictures train the heart. Begin to see yourself functioning in your domain with clarity. See the fruit. See the systems. See the people served. Your heart will begin to escort you there. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into a ditch. If the clear-hearted lead themselves, they arrive. Finally, hear Paul again. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind, not the removing of your mind. You don't need escape. You need renewal. Stop waiting for a feeling to start thinking different. Think different long enough and the feeling will follow. Write this down. Emotion is a student. Belief is the teacher. Teach your heart daily. Teach it with the word. Teach it with declarations. Teach it with disciplined exposure. Rooms that stretch you. Mentors that challenge you. Environments that pull the governor off your potential. Protect your heart from small talk, small thinkers, small faith. The Autobahn is no place for bicycles. We are resetting your belief system because the next moves demand it. Methods are cheap. Mindsets are priceless. You can Google methods. You must guard mindsets. From this moment, monitor every sentence that exits your mouth. Correct it to match your design. Install the truth until it runs automatically. When your belief aligns with your identity, your capacity will salute and obey. And when capacity obeys, fruit appears. And when fruit appears, no title can deny it. Now, take a breath and say it one more time. I am image. I am likeness. I am authorized for dominion. My belief agrees. My capacity obeys. And my world will prove it. Now that your intolerance has located the breach, we must reframe how leadership flows through you. Write this down. You lead when you function in your design and deliver fruit, not when you acquire a title. Titles are labels. Function is evidence. Labels can deceive. Fruit cannot lie. By their fruits you shall know them. Matthew 7:20. God does not ask for your resume. He looks for your results. Show me what improves when you arrive. Show me what is restored when you touch it. Show me what multiplies when you engage. That is leadership. Let me take you under the hood. I love cars because they are honest. Open the bonnet of a $90,000 machine. Polished, powerful, global brand, stunning. You see the big components. Engine block, transmission, combustion system. But tucked in there is a small terminal wire, $4 at the parts store. If that $4 wire disconnects, the $90,000 car dies at a red light. Now here is the question I ask apprentices when I teach this. Who's the leader? The engine, the battery, the transmission. I wait and then I answer. No one and everyone. Leadership in that car is distributed. Each part leads when it functions according to design. Importance is contextual. In the moment of ignition, the starter leads. In the moment of acceleration, the throttle body leads. In the moment of cooling, the radiator leads. A $4 wire can halt a kingdom of metal because leadership is never about size, it's about function. Write this down. A small part with accurate function has more authority than a big part out of place. Scripture already gave you this blueprint. Paul writes, the body is one and has many members. The eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you. Those members of the body which seem to be weaker are necessary. 1 Corinthians 12:12, 21 to 22. Necessary. That is leadership language. Distributed. Functional. Integrated. The eye leads in sight. The hand leads in grip. The foot leads in movement. Who's the leader in the body? No one and everyone. God designed you as a member with a measure, a function within a domain. Romans 12 says, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, let us use them. Write this down. Use, don't pose. Function, don't perform. Deliver, don't decorate. Our cultures, religious and corporate, have seduced us into thinking a chair makes you a leader, a platform, a badge, a title. I have seen people fight for seats and never change a soul. I have seen quiet women without a microphone shift cities. Jesus warned, if the blind lead the blind, both will fall into a ditch. Matthew 15:14. Don't be impressed with power. Ask where we're going. A title without vision is a ditch with decoration. A title without function is a parade without progress. Write this down. The proof of leadership is not applause. It is advancement. Not followers, forward. Say it with me. Function over titles. Again. Function over titles. Louder. Function over titles. Now, fix this line in your spirit. Write this down. Leaders don't seek followers. Followers are attracted to leaders. Bees don't attend marketing seminars to find flowers. They locate nectar. The world is not hunting for your title. It's thirsty for your fruit. Proverbs 18:16 says, a man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Room is made by gift, not by logos on a business card. If they fire you, your title goes. If they fire you, your function remains. Take your function and deploy it. Doors you couldn't open will open because you carry value, not vanity. Let's get practical. Write this down. Identify your function to find your lane of leadership. How? Ask 3 questions. 1. What do people consistently thank you for? Not occasionally, consistently. Honor reveals function. 2. What breaks when you are absent? Disruptions. Locate design. If meetings drift without you, perhaps you are a focus anchor. If chaos calms when you enter, perhaps you are a system stabilizer. 3. What flows from you under pressure without pay? Effortless excellence marks gift. If clarity comes when you speak, if complexity becomes simple when you diagram, if broken teams reconcile when you listen, there is your lane. Write this down. Fruit is the fingerprint of function. Let me tell you a story from a factory floor. I visited a plant where luxury vehicles roll off like royalty, assembly line humming, robots dancing, engineers with clipboards. Suddenly, the line stopped. Alarms. Managers ran. $1,000 an hour crisis. They called a short, quiet technician. No title, temporary badge. He slid under the chassis, felt along a harness, pinched a connector, and the line came back to life. Time equals money. The plant manager hugged him. I asked, who's the leader in that moment? He smiled, him. Why? Function. The one who restores function leads. Write this down. In crisis, titles vanish and value rises. Be the one whose presence resurrects function. Some of you keep hiding because you don't have the title yet. Stop applying for permission. Apply your function. When David arrived at the valley, he had no rank in the army, but Goliath was a systems failure. Fear fills the ranks. David's function was courage with precision. He didn't ask for a badge, he asked for a sling. He led because he functioned, and fruit verified him. A head rolled, a nation breathed. Jesus never demanded titles. He delivered function. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to preach, heal, set at liberty them that are bruised. Luke 4:18. Anointing is authorization for function. Titles followed him because solutions preceded him. This is why measurement matters. Write this down. Leadership is measured by value delivered, not rank worn. What will you measure in the next 24 hours? Not likes, not attendance. Measure outcomes. Did the meeting end with decisions and deadlines? Did the team leave clearer than they arrived? Did a process lose waste? Did a child gain a mentor? Did a budget gain honesty? James says, show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. James 2:18. The faith of leaders is seen in the fruit of function. Keep score where heaven keeps score. Outcomes that align earth with heaven's order. Let me confront a subtle sabotage. Some of you are generalists on purpose because specificity scares you. General feels safe. Specific creates accountability. But God never gave gifts in fog. Apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers. Specific to equip the saints for work. Ephesians 4:11, 1-2. Write this down. Clarity is kind. Specificity is stewardship. Find your narrow and you'll create wide impact. In the engine, a piston does not envy the spark plug. Envy is ignorance of function. Celebrate others. Perfect you. The hand does not rehearse being an eye. It refines its grip. Say this with me. I function. Therefore, I lead. Again, I function. Therefore, I lead. Say it like a decree. My fruit will validate me. My value will announce me. My gift will make room for me. Now, set a boundary in your spirit. Write this down. Protect your function from title traps. Don't say yes to roles that dilute your design. Don't accept promotions that demote your purpose. Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do, do it heartily as to the Lord. Heartily means from your core, your function, your lane. When you run in that lane, you become hard to ignore and impossible to replace. Who's the leader in your world? In your family, in your department, in your street? No one. And everyone, every part, leading in its function. You don't need rank to start. You need results to continue. So here is your final instruction before we drill your gift and pen your work statement. Write a one-sentence function line. I lead by. Finish it with the fruit you deliver. Keep it simple. Keep it true. Then live it loud through service. Leaders don't seek followers. Followers are attracted to leaders. Serve your function, deliver your fruit, and watch doors bow to value. Now we move from revelation to work. This is a practicum. 15 minutes to locate the birthplace of your assignment with surgical precision. Write this down. Clarity of assignment begins where your tolerance expires. If you don't name the unacceptable, you will nurture it. If you don't print the problem, you will parent it. Say it with me. Leadership is born when toleration ends today, it ends here again. Leadership is born when toleration ends today, it ends here. Louder. Leadership is born when toleration ends today, it ends here. Take a breath and prepare your heart. Habakkuk 2:2 says, write the vision and make it plain so that he may run who reads it. Not think the vision, write the vision. Why? Because the heart respects ink. Ink turns ideas into instructions. Instructions create motion. Motion produces fruit. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. And assignments are written. Now, for the next few moments, we're going to interrogate your toleration until it confesses your purpose. Keep your pen moving. Don't negotiate with feelings. Don't search for perfect words. We will refine later. Today we name the unacceptable. Prompt 1. List 3 arenas where you are done tolerating dysfunction. 3 only, not 30. Why? Because focus is the friend of fruit. The first arena is personal. The world called within reach. The habits and patterns under your jurisdiction. The second arena is your community or industry. The systems you touch daily. The table you sit at. The hallway you walk. The neighborhood you drive through. The profession you practice. The third arena is global. The human family issue that burns your chest when you hear it on the news, read it in a report, or watch it steal dignity from people made in God's image. Write this down. Personal, community, industry, global. 3 arenas, 1 intolerance per arena. Start with personal. Where have you normalized what violates your design? Is it lateness that disrespects time, the only commodity you cannot refund? Is it clutter that suffocates creative thought? Is it financial leakage subscriptions, impulse buys, no budget draining the seed that should be invested? Is it health, negligence, sleep, theft, sugar, addictions, sedentary schedules that sabotage stamina for your assignment? Is it conflict avoidance, you're tongue-tied when truth is required? Is it chronic overcommitment? Yeses that betray your no, scattering your focus like confetti with no celebration? Write this down. The personal is the proving ground of dominion. Genesis 1:26. Let them have dominion. Before you manage a city, manage a calendar. Before you command a company, command your appetite. Leaders do not tolerate in private what they condemn in public. Now, community or industry. Where is the system broken, bloated, blind, or blatantly unjust? Is it meetings without outcomes, hours of talk with no decisions, no owners, no deadlines? Is it customer abuse, promises without delivery, contracts without care? Is it bureaucracy that rewards delay, not results? Is it unsafe practices that risk lives for margins? Is it predatory pricing, deceptive marketing, or data without consent? Is it the absence of mentorship, pipelines, new staff thrown into chaos without a shepherd? Is it educational content in your field that is 20 years behind the market? Is it corruption dressed in, we've always done it this way? Write this down. Leaders don't just complain about systems. They diagnose and redesign them. Joseph didn't just interpret Pharaoh's dream. He built a supply chain. Daniel didn't just pray in Babylon. He administrated with excellence. Finally, global. Where does your spirit groan beyond your zip code? Is it fatherlessness, generation starved of identity? Is it human trafficking, the sale of souls God purchased with blood? Is it food deserts and nutrition, ignorance, body starving in grocery store rich nations? Is it illiteracy minds locked out of pages that unlock futures? Is it plastic waste drowning coastlines? Or polluted water poisoning children? Is it medical deserts where preventable disease steals potential? Is it digital misinformation that cripples thought in the era of information? Is it toxic religious culture that prefers spectacle over substance, crowds over character? Write this down. If it keeps you awake, it is not random. Exposure is evidence of election. Esther 4:14 reminds us, who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this? Your time is a clue to your task. List one intolerable in each arena now. Don't write paragraphs. Name the cancer in a sentence. Example, personal chronic lateness, stealing trust, community meetings without decisions, wasting payroll, global fatherlessness, multiplying generational brokenness. Go, 2 minutes, keep your pen hot. Don't judge your list, just be honest. Heaven works with honesty. Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts, Psalm 51:6. Now we sharpen the blade, prompt 2. For each arena, write the precise pain you refuse to pass to the next generation. Not vague, precise. Pain with a face, a place, a cost. Why the next generation? Because leaders think in grandchildren. Proverbs 13:22 says, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. Inheritance is not only money, it is standards, systems, and sanity. What pain ends with you? Write this down. I will be the last to tolerate this. The bloodline stops here. The office culture changes here. The street store returns here. Let me model precision, personal. If lateness is the unacceptable, the pain you refuse to pass might sound like, I refuse to pass a reputation of unreliability to my children. I refuse to let them inherit a casual relationship with time that closes doors and insults others. Or financial leakage is your unacceptable. I refuse to pass anxiety at the checkout counter. I refuse to pass the curse of impulse that mortgages my future for a feeling. If health negligence is yours, I refuse to pass a body that cannot carry my assignment for decades. I refuse to normalize fatigue as identity. Community divided by industry. If meetings without outcomes is the unacceptable, I refuse to pass to new hires the belief that talk equals progress. I refuse to train a generation to perform busyness without fruit. If unsafe practices plague your field, I refuse to pass a workplace where lives are gambled for quarterly reports. If there is no mentorship, I refuse to pass a house where talent dies in orientation. I will not send another intern into a maze without a map. Global. If fatherlessness is your unacceptable, I refuse to pass streets where boys learn manhood from movies and gangs. I will not allow daughters to audition for affirmation in the arms of strangers. If trafficking is it, I refuse to pass a world where human bodies are line items. If illiteracy, I refuse to pass minds that never taste the joy of decoding worlds in words. If polluted water, I refuse to pass villages where a cup kills. Write 3 lines, one for each arena, beginning with, I refuse to pass. Make it concrete. Attach a scene. Who is hurt? How? Where? When? Your heart will catch fire when your pen names their faces. Paul said in Romans 9:2 that he had great sorrow and unceasing anguish for his people. That anguish is not weakness, it is assignment labor. Write, push, name it. Now prompt 3. For each arena, state the cost of inaction in 12 months. Money, morale, missed impact. We measure because leaders count the cost. Jesus said, for which of you, intending to build a tower, does not sit down first and count the cost? Luke 14:28. We usually count the cost of action. Wise leaders also count the cost of inaction. Write this down. Inaction invoices you later with interest. Create a quick ledger with 3 columns. Money, morale, missed impact. Under money, quantify it. If lateness persists for 12 months, how many meetings will start late? How many clients will quietly leave? How many refunds, discounts, apologies will cost you dollars? If meetings stay fruitless, how many payroll hours evaporate? Multiply hourly rate by wasted hours per week by 52. Don't be scared of the number. Respect it. If unsafe practices linger, what is the potential cost of one incident, lawsuits, shutdowns, reputational damage? If financial leakage continues, how much compound growth is forfeited by not investing now? Put numbers, even if they're estimates. Your heart listens when you speak in math. Under morale, write the human toll. If lateness prevails, trust erodes. Team members become cynical. Leaders' words lose weight. If meetings stay empty, contributors disengage. Innovation suffocates. Eye rolls become culture. If fatherlessness continues, boys harden, girls hurt, teachers burn out, pastors carry loads they weren't designed to carry alone. Name the morale drain. Fatigue, cynicism, turnover, silence. Write this down. Morale is the oil in the engine of assignment. When it dries, heat builds and parts break. On the missed impact, write the value not delivered because you tolerated delay. If you don't fix your finances, scholarships, your foundation could fund, remain dreams, courses you could build, never launch, the book that could heal 1,000 marriages stays stuck in your notes. If you don't build that mentorship pipeline, talented juniors wander, and next year's excellence dies in this year's confusion. If you don't intervene in that global issue, a village drinks poison for another year, and a girl who could become a doctor spends another 12 months walking for water. Write this down. Delayed obedience is disobedience dressed as patience. Count the bodies buried by your procrastination. Do this now. 3 lines per arena. Money, a number, morale, a description, missed impact, a sentence that makes you ache. Don't dramatize, be honest. Don't minimize, be bold. Proverbs 27:23 says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Your flocks include your projects, people, and potential. Know their state. The shepherd who refuses to count sheep loses them. Pause, look at your page, and feel the holy pressure of reality. That feeling is not condemnation, it is calibration. Romans 8:1 says there is no condemnation for those in Christ Jesus. We are not shaming, we are shaping. You are stepping into your dominion mandate by naming the dragons you will slay. Write this down. Pain now or pain later. Only one kind pays dividends. Choose the pain of clarity. Now we synthesize into a deliverable. This is a sentence that becomes a sword. One line that you can memorize, declare, and deploy. Write this down and fill it in. I exist to end X by Y for Z. X is the unacceptable you named. Y is the method, gift, or system you will deploy the how that flows from your design, not your imitation. Z is the people, place, or platform you are called to serve. First, the who that validates your leadership by fruit, not applause. Say it with me. I exist to end X by Y for Z. Let me help you with examples to provoke clarity. Don't copy mine, build yours. Personal example. I exist to end chronic lateness by installing a time stewardship system for my household and teams. See the X, chronic lateness. Y, installing a system, shared calendars, buffers, alarms, fixed start lines. Z, my household and teams, not the universe, the people under my immediate jurisdiction. Another personal. I exist to end financial leakage by creating and enforcing a zero-based budget for my family by tonight. Note the time-bound word, by tonight. Leaders put clocks on convictions. Community, industry examples. I exist to end meetings without outcomes by redesigning our weekly team rhythm into 4 or 5-minute decision sprints with owners, deadlines, and published minutes. Or I exist to end unsafe practices on our job sites by building and enforcing a daily 3-step safety protocol and training every foreman within 30 days. Or I exist to end predatory onboarding in my field by writing a mentor-based curriculum that equips new hires to add value in 14 days. Notice the by-why decision, sprints, safety protocol, mentor-based curriculum, methods that fit design. And for Z, your team, job sites, new hires, people you can see and measure. Global examples. I exist to end fatherlessness in my district by launching a Saturday coaching league for 100 boys with 20 trained mentors this quarter. I exist to end illiteracy in my village by planting a micro-library and teaching 50 children to read at grade level in 12 months. I exist to end polluted water in that community by funding and overseeing 2 wells by year's end. I exist to end trafficking ignorance in my city by equipping 500 citizens to spot and report red flags through workshops over the next 6 months. Do you see it? X, unacceptable. Y, method. Z, people. Add a clock. Vision without dates breeds excuses. Write this down. A dated vision becomes accountability. Now craft yours. Write 3 sentences if you can, 1 per arena. Or choose one to start your master assignment seed and build the supporting sentences later. Keep them crisp. If your sentence cannot be read by a 1-2-year-old and understood, it is too complicated. Simplicity is the friend of action. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run who reads it. We are writing for running, not for resumes. As you write, check alignment with identity. Your why must flow from your gift, not someone else's charisma. Remember, the Greek word charisma speaks of gifts. Don't trust charisma that has no character or clarity. If you are a teacher, your why will include curricula, workshops, content, systems. If you are a builder, your why will include structures, logistics, processes. If you are a connector, your why will include communities, partnerships, introductions. If you are a strategist, your why will include blueprints, dashboards, policies. Write this down. Your method must match your make. Gideon was told, go in this might of yours, Judges 6:14. Not Saul's armor, yours. Test your sentence with 3 questions. 1, can it be started in the next 24 hours with a small, measurable act? If not, refine. 2, does it identify who benefits specifically? If you wrote for everyone, edit it to for somebody. Everybody is nobody until fruit appears. 3, can a stranger read it and ask, how can I help? If not, it's not plain yet. Plain attracts partners. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into a ditch. Matthew 15:14. If the clear, write it plain, both can run toward a destination. Say your sentence out loud now. Your tongue must hear your assignment from your own mouth. Death and life are in its power. Say it again, stronger. This is not hype. It is installation. You are writing code into your heart's operating system. Remember Joshua 1-8. Mouth governs mind. Mind governs motion. Motion produces manifestation. Now sign and date it. Yes, right there. Why? Because dates tell your future you that you meant it. Heaven respects signatures. Covenants are signed. I want you to write beneath it. Today I choose intolerance of X. I choose deployment by Y. I choose service to Z. Then underline the date. Some of you will frame this page. Some of you will snap a photo and set it as your lock screen. Some of you will email it to a friend for accountability. Whatever you do, do not file it and forget it. Be doers of the word and not hearers only. James 1:22. Hearing without doing produces deception. Doing produces dominion. Let me add a holy warning. When you name the unacceptable, Resistance will introduce itself. Why? Because toleration has friends, convenience, culture, and the crowd. Jesus didn't trust crowds. He loved them, but he didn't trust them. They cheered Hosanna on Sunday and yelled Crucify on Friday. Do not consult the crowd about your assignment. Consult your constitution, image, likeness, dominion, and the fruit it begins to bear. Leaders don't seek followers. Followers are attracted to leaders. When you begin to end X by Y for Z, you will emit the scent of fruit, and fruit attracts. Now anchor this in prayer and plan. A simple prayer. Father, I agree with your image in me. I reject toleration that contradicts your design. I receive boldness to end X by Y for Z. Establish the work of my hands. Amen. And a simple plan. In the next 5 minutes after we close, schedule your first 2 4-hour action. We will map the action stack shortly, but your assignment sentence needs a first step, a phone call, a budget, a meeting request, a purchase, a calendar block, a research query, a domain name, a Google Doc, a safety checklist draft, something small that moves the world 1 degree in your direction. Write this down. Small, decisive moves create seismic shifts over time. Look back at your page. Do you see it? The map was hiding in your intolerance. Your sigh became a sentence. Your frustration became a framework. Your pain found a purpose. Say it with me. Leadership is born when toleration ends today, it ends here. Again. Leadership is born when toleration ends today, it ends here. One more time, like you mean it. Leadership is born when toleration ends today, it ends here. Before we transition, I want to honor the holiness of this moment. In Scripture, altars were built where decisions were made. This page is an altar. Elijah rebuilt the altar and then the fire fell. You have rebuilt an altar in your heart and on paper. Expect fire. Expect opportunities disguised as problems. Expect people to appear who speak your sentence back to you without knowing you wrote it. Expect resistance to test your resolve. Do not be surprised. Be steady. Isaiah 61:8. For I, the Lord, love justice. He loves what you just wrote because it smells like justice, order restored, waste defeated, dignity defended, purpose deployed. Let me seal it with a paradox. Who's the leader now regarding X? No one and everyone. You are not waiting for permission. You are creating momentum. You are not avoiding responsibility. You are assuming it within your domain. A $4 wire can shut the car down. You are that wire in your world. Connect what's loose. Conduct power. Carry current. Your function is leadership. Function now. Finally, I want you to declare your 1-sentence assignment as a decree. Stand in your spirit if you can't stand in your body. Speak it like a contract. Begin. I exist to end X by Y for Z. Now add this, and I begin now, not tomorrow, now. Faith without works is dead, and feelings without decisions are deceitful. You have decided. This is your birthplace. Toleration has expired. Assignment has arrived. In a moment, we'll move to inventory your gifts so your method is precise. But for now, guard this page like a newborn. Hold it. Read it morning and night for 7 days. Install it. And when the question comes, what do? You will no longer answer with a job title. You will answer with an assignment. The world doesn't need another employee. The world needs your deployment. Write this down one last time. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. My intolerances reveal my lane. My sentence reveals my strategy. My fruit will reveal my leadership. And my leadership begins where my excuses end. Now breathe, bold one. You just met a part of you that was waiting behind your toleration. Welcome them to the front. Let them drive. The lights are green. The sign is clear. The autobahn of vision awaits. Accelerate. We are moving now from theory to touch. This is a lab. This is a mirror. This is where you stop guessing and let evidence talk. Write this down. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. Your job can be terminated. Your work can only be neglected. Your job is seasonal. Your work is eternal. You are not your job. You are your work. Say it with me. I am not my job. I am my work. Again, I am not my job. I am my work. The scriptures refuse to leave this vague. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Proverbs 18:16. The Hebrew word there for gift is matan. What is given? A present. Your present to the world creates your future. Then Peter adds, as each one has received the gift, minister it to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. 1 Peter 4:10. Each one, not some. Manifold, many-sided grace. That means what flows through you will look different from what flows through me. But both are grace if they produce fruit. Write this down. Gift is grace that solves a problem through you. Not potential, production. Not theory, transformation. Your gift is identified by effortless excellence that consistently produces fruit. Here's how we find it fast. I call this the 3E test. Write this down. Ease, excellence, energy. Ask of every activity in your life, when I do this, does it come with unusual ease? Does it reveal consistent excellence, accuracy, quality, outcomes above average? And does it generate energy in me and in others? I finish with more fire than I started, and those who receive it are lifted. Ease without excellence is laziness. Excellence without energy is duty. Energy without ease is hype. The gift sits where all three agree consistently. Jesus said, my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Matthew 11:30. Easy there is Crestos well fitted. When you wear your assignment, it fits. You still work, but the work works for you. Write this down. The anointing is divine fit. Oil on the gears. It does not remove effort. It removes friction. We will do this in real time. Set a 15-minute block in your soul. For the first 5 minutes, you are going to list activities that pass the 3E test. Not titles, functions. Not job descriptions, deliverables. Open your notebook or the Notes app on your phone. Put today's date. Write gift inventory. What flows without a paycheck? Put a dash and write the 3 words. Ease, excellence, energy. Now think back over the last 5 years. Church, work, family, community, teams, projects, emergencies. Ask these questions and write answers quickly without editing. What do I do when a room is confused? What do I do when a crisis erupts? What do I do in downtime naturally? What do people keep asking me to help with even when there's no money involved? What have I stayed up late to do and woke up early to continue with joy? Where do people say it finally makes sense after I speak? Where do people say I felt safe when you arrived? Where do people say we had no momentum until you came? Where do people say I could breathe again after you handled it? These are clues. Let me provoke your mind with pictures. Bezalel in Exodus 31:3 was filled with the Spirit of God. In wisdom, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship. He crafted solutions with his hands. That's scripture. Sanctifying craftsmanship. Some of you make order appear in chaotic rooms. Some of you extract melodies from thin air. Some of you take numbers and birth honesty in budgets. Some of you listen until a broken soul finds its voice again. Some of you can look at a process and remove 10 steps, like cutting a tumor precision. Some of you turn conflict into covenant. Write this down. Gifts are not only on platforms. They are in plant floors, classrooms, kitchens, studios, and spreadsheets. Do not demote your grace because it is quiet. Back to your list. Under ease, write the things that you do with minimal strain that others struggle with. Simplifying complex ideas. Seeing patterns in chaos. Spotting talent. Writing compelling emails in 5 minutes. Designing a room people love to stay in, drafting a plan that everyone can follow, praying and hearing strategy, troubleshooting machines without manuals, mediating hot conversations without burns. Under excellence, circle the ones where you consistently get above average outcomes. Not once, consistently. Under energy star, the ones that leave you more alive, the ones you would do on vacation, the ones you would sneak to do while being paid for something else. Be honest. This is not humility hour. This is accuracy hour. Write this down. False humility hides gifts God gave you to serve me. Steward, don't shrink. Now we add proof. Evidence turns suspicion into science. For the next 5 minutes, build your evidence. File your gratitude receipts. Go to your emails, your text messages, your DMs, your handwritten notes, your performance reviews, your church thank you cards. Search for 3 words: thank, grateful, appreciate. Start collecting. Copy and paste into your notes a few lines from each message where someone thanked you for a specific value you delivered. Not "you're awesome." That's sweet. We need specific. You helped me see my next step. You saved us $12,000. You made the room feel safe. You corrected the budget errors and we hit our target. You mediated a fight. And now we are partners. Your design increased foot traffic by 40%. Your lesson made my daughter believe she could do math. You prayed for me and I slept for the first time in weeks. You taught our team a system and we cut meeting time in half. You told me 3 questions to ask and they changed my business model. Copy the exact words. These are your fruit fingerprints. Some of you will say, "I don't have many." That's a sign, not a sentence. 2 possibilities. 1, you haven't been serving your gift, you've been serving a title. 2, you have fruit but never captured it. Leaders measure. Fruit must be recorded. God told Joshua to make memorial stones after the Jordan crossing so the children would ask, "What do these stones mean?" Gratitude receipts are your stones. They tell your heart what is normal. They tell your future clients what you really do. They tell your God, "I multiplied your talent." Write this down. Memory fades. Evidence fights amnesia. Now, 3rd step in this drill, external mirror. Proverbs 27:17 says, "Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend." You need a mirror bigger than yourself to avoid delusion. Take out your phone right now. I'll give you the exact text. Send it to 3 people who have seen you at your best in different settings. 1 from work or school. 1 from family or close friends. 1 from community or church. Here is the script. Quick question for my growth. When I show up at my best, what value do you experience from me? Be specific. Use verbs and outcomes. I will not argue. Thank you. Send it. Do not edit their truth. Do not explain. Do not apologize. Do not coach them what to say. And for bonus calibration, send it to 1 person who loves you enough to offend you, a mentor who is not impressed, a colleague who competes with you, a sibling who tells you the unvarnished version. Write this down. Flattery inflates. Feedback calibrates. While we wait for responses, and they will come, let me frame why this matters. Paul told Timothy, "Do not neglect the gift that is in you. Stir up the gift of God which is in you." 1 Timothy 4:14, 2 Timothy 1-6. Neglect is the enemy of gifts. You can be diligent at a job and negligent with your gift. That is the tragedy of our time. Pharaoh will always pay you to carry bricks. He will never pay you to lift your rod. Jobs reward repetition. Gifts reward revelation. Your assignment is always bigger than your employment. Write this down. Employment uses you. Deployment reveals you. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. Thank God. Let me add a filter for the hesitant. Sometimes you confuse gift with performance. Performance asks, "How did I look?" Gift asks, "What changed for them?" We are not counting applause. We are counting advancement. James says, "Show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works." James 2:18. Show me is fruit language. John 15:8. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, not bear many likes, much fruit. Write this down. Fruit is value delivered that others can testify to. That's why we are collecting witnesses, gratitude receipts, and mirrors. Now, let's compile. For the next 3 minutes, scan your 3E list and your evidence file. Where do they overlap? Put a check mark beside any function on your list that appears in your gratitude receipts with similar language. For example, your list says, "I clarify." Your receipts say, "You helped me see the next step. You made the complex simple. You broke it down so I could do it." That's an overlap. Or your list says, I stabilize. Your receipts say, when you arrived, the teen calmed down. You brought order. We stopped bleeding. That's an overlap. Or your list says, I sell without pressure. Your receipts say, I finally said yes because I trusted you. You listened and then offered the right thing. I didn't feel sold, I felt served. That's an overlap. Overlaps are gold mines. Write this down. Consistency of testimony confirms identity. To make this precise, I'll give you a simple score. This is not perfect science, it's practical wisdom. For each gift function you identify, assign a score in 3 areas from 1 to 5. Results. How tangible and significant are the outcomes you produce in this function? 1 is weak, 5 is transformational. Consistency. How often have you produced these outcomes across time and context? 1 is rare, 5 is frequent. Witnesses. How many independent sources confirm this value? 1 is one person, 5 is many from different circles. Multiply them. Results, X. Consistency, X. Witnesses. A possible 125 points maximum per function. Write this down. Fruit score equals results times consistency times witnesses. This is not to compare with others. It is to rank within you. Before you score, hear me as a father. Don't be cute. Be honest. God is not intimidated by your greatness. He authored it. We are His workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works which God prepared beforehand. Ephesians 2:10. Workmanship, poema, poem. You are a crafted poem of usefulness. Your good works were prepared. You are not cocky when you read your own poem. You are faithful. If Joseph said, I interpret dreams, he was not bragging, he was stewarding. If Dorcas said, I make garments that restore dignity, she wasn't boasting, she was serving. If Bezalel said, I carved the ark, he was not arrogant, he was obedient. Say it with me. I will steward, not shrink. Again, I will steward, not shrink. Now score. Take the top 10 functions from your 3 list that appear in your evidence file. Write them down quickly in a column with short phrases that begin with verbs, not nouns. Verbs. Clarifying strategy. Designing systems. Mediating conflict. Teaching frameworks. Writing narratives. Coaching courage. Analyzing patterns. Healing hearts. Selling solutions. Hosting spaces. Crafting visuals. Coding structure. Organizing chaos. Then, beside each, assign results from 1 to 5. Be conservative. Next, assign consistency from 1 to 5. Third, count. Witnesses. How many unique people have thanked you for that exact value in the last 5 years? 1 to 5. Multiply. Circle the top 5 scores. These are your top 5 gifts ranked by fruit results plus feedback. This is your deliverable for this drill. Pause, breathe, feel what just happened. You move from vague hope to verified profiles. You are meeting you. You are not a mystery anymore. Write this down. You will never lead beyond what you have named. Naming gives you authority. God brought the animals to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was its name. Genesis 2:19. You must call your gifts by name. Not cute names, functional names. Names that tell the world the value you deliver. This is the beginning of your work statement. Let me speak to the one who feels torn because the top scores are not your current job tasks. That is common. Your job is a riverbank. Your work is the water. Sometimes your water has been trapped in a ditch. The goal is to align the bank to the water. That is deployment. Don't panic. Don't quit irresponsibly. But be honest. Your next 24 hours will include a micro deployment of your top gift into a real problem. Fruit will follow and clarity will rise. Write this down. You do not have to resign to realign. Deploy in place. Serve your gift where you stand. Rooms will shift. Some of you will discover that what you thought was small is your gold vein. I met a woman, quiet, unassuming, who creates environments. She walks into a space, rearranges chairs, adjusts lighting, chooses music at 62 decibels, and people who hated each other begin to talk. She thought it was just setting up the room. When we did this exercise, her gratitude receipts screamed. I felt safe. I stayed longer. I met my business partner in that room. Safety is currency. Environments are leadership. Write this down. Do not despise the grace that doesn't need a microphone. Heaven does not rank pulpits above tables. Others of you think your gift is what you've been trained to do. Training can polish you, it cannot invent you. Saul dressed David in armor he had never proved. It was heavy, it drained energy. David removed it and grabbed what had passed the 3 tests. Stones and a sling. He had ease. He had excellence. Lions and bears proved it. He had energy. He ran toward Goliath. And his fruit, one head less, verified it publicly. Say it with me. I wear what fits. Again, I wear what fits. Write this down. What fits you will fight for you. Let me refine the energy, E, because religious people sometimes mislabel guilt as conviction and burnout as sacrifice. Energy is not adrenaline spikes. Energy is sustained joy. It is the afterglow of obedience. It is Isaiah 10:27. The yoke shall be destroyed because of the anointing operating through you, so that other people's burdens lift and your shoulders don't break. If after doing a thing you are always irritable, resentful, and depleted, it may be duty, not design. Even Jesus, after pouring out, withdrew to refuel, but he did not despise his gift. He was driven by compassion, not compulsion. Write this down. The gift may tire your body. It will feed your spirit. Now, take your top 5 gifts and write each as a clear function line. Start with I deliver or I bring. Then link it to fruit. For example, I deliver clarity that becomes action plans for teams. I bring stabilizing systems that reduce waste and increase trust. I deliver healing conversations that restore relationships and accountability. I bring persuasive narratives that make the right decision desirable. I deliver pattern analysis that predicts problems and designs prevention. Keep them short. Keep them strong. Add proof from your evidence file in brackets. Reduce meeting time 40%. Save $12,000. Resolved 5-year conflict. Increase donor retention by 25%. This is not bragging. This is reporting. Remember James, show me. As the responses to your text begin to arrive, paste them below each function line where they fit. Don't cherry pick. Use the words people actually said. If you receive something that surprises you, you give me courage to attempt new things, and you never wrote courage anywhere, pause. That may be a hidden river. Add it to your list and run it through the 3E and evidence screen. Sometimes the water you swim in feels invisible to you because it is normal. Other people drown until you arrive. Write this down. What is normal to you is often necessary to us. I want to expose a lie. Many of you have been told that your personality is your gift. No. Personality is packaging. Gift is product. You can be introverted and lead nations if your function delivers fruit. You can be extroverted and deliver nothing but noise. Moses stuttered and led. Jeremiah was young and prophesied. Dorcas was unseen and resurrected by community demand because her gift was clothing widows with dignity. Who was the leader when Dorcas died? The one everybody cried for. Why? Fruit. Acts 9:39 says, the widows stood weeping, showing the tunics and garments Dorcas made while she was with them. Evidence file on display. Write this down. The market will mourn your absence if you have served your gift. A quick warning. Do not confuse trauma response with gift. Some of you became peacekeepers in chaotic homes, and now you call it mediation. Ask your mirror people to help you sort that out. A gift brings order. A trauma pattern fears conflict. A gift sets boundaries. A trauma pattern absorbs abuse. That is why the external mirror matters. If your gift keeps you in codependent cycles, it is not a gift, it is a wound. God heals wounds. He anoints gifts. Invite healing while you inventory. Isaiah 61 is still true. He has anointed me to bind up the brokenhearted. Healing and gifting are friends. We are almost done with this drill. I want you to rank your top 5 gifts by fruit, 1 to 5. Then write this sentence at the bottom of the page. My deployment begins with gift has shown. Say it with me. My deployment begins with gift has shown. Again, my deployment begins with gift has shown. Heaven does not promote generalities. Heaven promotes fruit. The parable of the talents in Matthew 25 did not reward potential, intention, or charisma. It rewarded multiplication. Well done, good and faithful servant. You were faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many. Leadership is the promotion of faithful fruit. Write this down. Multiply one gift and doors will open for the rest. Let me give you a diagnostic story as a SEAL. I visited a school where test scores had been falling for 3 years. The board hired consultants. They wrote reports. Nothing changed. A quiet teacher in the corner of the staff room, no title, kept a little notebook. In it, she tracked struggling students. Not just their scores, but their fears. She scheduled 5-minute courage conferences each morning with them. Asked 2 questions, gave 1 action, and texted 1 parent weekly. In a term, her class rose by 18%. The principal noticed. He asked her what she did. She showed the notebook. Function, fruit. They made her method district policy. Scores rose across the school. Who was the leader? No one. And everyone, but in that function, she led. Her gift was not teaching. That's the title. Her gift was courage coaching with strategy, ease, excellence, energy, evidence. That gift made room not for her ego, but for outcomes. That is kingdom. Now, close this drill strong. Read your top 5 out loud. Your ears need to hear your mouth. Train your heart. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Speak life into your inventory. Say each one slowly, adding the fruit proof. Then pray a simple steward's prayer. Father, thank you for the grace you distributed in me. I repent for neglect. I commit to deploy. I will serve my gift to your people in Jesus' name. Amen. Write this down. Prayer does not replace practice. It empowers it. For the data-minded, here is how you will keep this alive after the session. Create a folder on your device labeled Evidence Fruit. Subfolders by gift. Every time a gratitude receipt arrives that matches a gift, drop it in. Every time an outcome can be measured, money saved, time reduced, people reconciled, clients retained, system stabilized. Write it down with date and number. Once a week, review for patterns. Your heart will start to know this is who we are. Opportunities will coincidentally find you because value attracts assignment. Proverbs 18:16 is not poetry. It is protocol. I will leave you with a counterintuitive truth that will save you from despair. Vision is more important than leadership. Why? Because vision tells your gift where to go, but gift tells your vision how to move. This inventory is the engine test under the hood. In the next drill, we will write your work statement, the license plate that tells the world what vehicle just passed them. For now, protect this page, photograph it, email it to yourself, put it on your desk. When someone asks you to do a thing that doesn't align with your top 5, remember this line and say it kindly. I am stewarding my lane for your benefit. People are blessed when you are specific. One more scripture to root you. Romans 11:29. For the gifts and the calling of God are irrevocable. Irrevocable. He will not take them back. You can ignore them. He will not remove them. That is mercy and that is mandate. Stir up the gift. Stir, meaning fan into flame. Add oxygen, exposure, practice, serving, measurement, accountability. These are the bellows of leadership. Say it with me. I fan my flame. Again, I fan my flame. Who's the leader in your world in the next 24 hours? The one who deploys their top gift to solve a real problem and returns with a receipt. Not a feeling, a receipt. We are not raising performers. We are releasing producers. Finish this drill and you will never again be at the mercy of a job description. You will walk into any room with a quiet confidence. I know what flows through me. I know what fruit follows me. And I will serve until my fruit makes room for me. Write this down as the final line of your gift inventory. My gift is God's answer to someone's prayer. I am the delivery system. Then seal it with a declaration. Say it with me. I carry ease. I deliver excellence. I distribute energy. My grace serves. My fruit verifies. My room is opening. In Jesus' name. Now, take 60 seconds and mark your calendar for tomorrow morning to review this page. Engagement produces remembrance. Remember, you are not an accident, you are an assignment. Leadership is stewarding that assignment through the gift you carry until the world cannot ignore the fruit. Let's go to work. For the next 15 minutes, you are going to meet your work, not your job, your work. Write this down. When your work is defined, employment becomes optional and deployment becomes inevitable. Jobs start and stop. Work is your assignment on earth. Ephesians 2:10 says, we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. The Greek word for workmanship is poema, poem, masterpiece. You are a crafted solution. What is poetry without performance? Paper. Your work is the performance of the poem heaven wrote. Jesus said, my food is to do the will of him who sent me and to finish his work. John 4:34. Food, fuel, fulfillment. Work feeds leaders. Write this down. Your job is what they pay you to do. Your work is what you were born to do. If they fire you, your title goes. If they fire you, your gift goes with you. Therefore, define your work so you can deploy whether or not you are employed. Now, here is the formula. This is not a slogan. It's a surgical instrument. Say it with me slowly. I serve people by using gift to produce outcome so that transformation. Again, I serve by to so that. That sentence will become your compass, your contract with yourself, your boundary with the world. This is Habakkuk 2. 2 inches action. Write the vision and make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads it. You will write it. Then you will run. Then others will run with you. Write this down. Plain precedes pace. Step 1. People. Who do you serve? Not all people. Specific people. Jesus said, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, Matthew 15:24, before he widened the net through his body. Clarity did not make him small, it made him effective. Luke 4:18, the Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor, to heal the brokenhearted. Notice the targets. Your anointing has an audience. Who are they? Describe them as if you can see them sitting in front of you. Write this down. Audience determines language, pace, and packaging. Choose your audience, or your audience will confuse your assignment. Ask 3 questions to locate your people. Who do I instinctively notice in a crowded room? Who consistently thanks me after I function? Whose pain makes me angry? Anger at injustice is your compassion on fire. If you said everyone, that is fear masquerading as love. Everyone is no one. Narrow to be necessary. Step 2, gift. By what do you serve? Not title, not position, gift. Romans 12:6, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, let us use them. Gifts are verbs before they are nouns. Write this down. Choose a verb, not a vanity. Do you clarify? Do you diagnose? Do you design? Do you simplify? Do you heal? Do you systematize? Do you train? Do you motivate? Do you translate complexity into steps? Do you reconcile? Do you organize chaos into flow? Do you craft stories that move money and hearts? 1, maybe 2 verbs? No more. A river is powerful because it is directed. This is not the time to be impressive. It is time to be exact. Step 3, outcome. What measurable product or result do you consistently deliver when you function? James 2:18, show me your faith without your works, and I will show you my faith by my works. Your work should be showable, not vibes, results. Write this down. Outcomes are fruit you can photograph. What changes after you arrive? Faster decisions, a written plan, revenue increases, waste reduced, conflicts resolved. Students reading at grade level, family stabilized, projects finished on time. Define it. If it cannot be evaluated, it cannot be improved, and it cannot be paid appropriately. Leaders love measurables because measurables tell truth without mood. Step 4, transformation. Why does that outcome matter? This is the so that. The so that is where legacy lives. Outcomes are immediate. Transformation is enduring. John 15:16, I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should remain. Remain means transformation. What remains after you leave? Confidence replaces confusion. Culture becomes honest. Teams self-correct. Communities prosper with dignity. Children inherit discipline with joy. Write this down. Transformation is the story your fruit tells tomorrow. Now, put the pieces together. I serve people by using gift to produce outcome so that transformation, keep it to 25 words. Why 25? Because constraint forces clarity. Proverbs 10:19 warns, in the multitude of words, sin is not lacking. Too many words hide responsibility. 25 words creates accountability. Say it with me. Clarity is kind. Specificity is stewardship. Again, clarity is kind. Specificity is stewardship. You will count every word. Cut adjectives. Keep verbs. Put skin on it. Let me model it. Listen closely and count with me in your head. I serve first-generation entrepreneurs by simplifying systems to generate consistent monthly revenue so that families stabilize, teams grow, and communities experience dignified, sustainable opportunity locally. That is 25 words. People, first-generation entrepreneurs. Gift, simplifying systems. Outcome, consistent monthly revenue. Transformation, families stabilize, teams grow, communities experience dignified, sustainable opportunity locally. Another one. I serve overworked nurses by designing humane schedules to reduce burnout so that patients receive safer care, teams collaborate joyfully, and hospitals retain wisdom longer. 25 words. One more. I serve urban teenagers by mentoring through narrative and entrepreneurship to build confidence so that purpose awakens, skills monetize, and crime declines in their neighborhoods. 25 words. Here another. I serve small churches by equipping volunteer teams to deliver excellent services so that guests encounter Christ, members mature, and pastors leave without exhaustion weekly. 25 words. And one for innovators. I serve mission-driven founders by turning ideas into tested prototypes to de-risk investment so that capital flows, products fit, customers, and jobs emerge on time. 25 words. Now, your turn. Write this down exactly as I speak. I serve people by using gift to produce outcome so that transformation, fill the brackets now. Don't analyze. Don't ask permission. Write the first names that rise from your spirit. Your heart already knows. If you are stuck, read Luke 4:18 out loud and borrow Jesus' structure. Poor, brokenhearted, captives, blind, bruised, then translate into your domain. Write this down. If you cannot name them, you cannot help them. Now choose your verb. One verb, maybe two. If you write a paragraph, you are hiding. If you write a title, you are performing. Choose a verb. Now list your outcome. Make it seeable. Imagine a before and after photo. What will the after look like? Finally, write your so that. Why does God care about this result through you? Put eternity inside your sentence. Let's talk boundaries. Your yes must be protected by your no. Nehemiah 6:3 is your shield. I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Great work requires great no's. Write this down. Boundary clause, what I will no longer do that dilutes my work. Now complete this sentence privately. To protect my work, I will no longer fill it. 5 no's. Example, I will no longer accept meetings without agendas or decision authority. I will no longer sell hours. I will deliver outcomes at fixed scopes. I will no longer chase titles that do not align with my audience. I will no longer create without measuring impact. I will no longer say yes to urgent requests that sabotage my assignment's calendar. Jesus set boundaries. He left the crowds and went to a solitary place. Mark 1:35. He refused to be made king by force. John 6:15. He walked past some needs to fulfill his assignment. Write this down. Needs are endless. Assignment is specific. Your no list is not rudeness. It is righteousness toward your purpose. Standards. How will you know you delivered leadership grade value? Quality is not a feeling. It is a set of non-negotiables. Write this down. My standards are the covenant I signed with my assignment. Here are 3 that belong to every leader's work. Then you will add 2 of your own. 1, clarity. If they leave with fog, you failed. Your work must produce a documented, understandable next step. Ask, is the path obvious? 2, change. Something must be measurably different. Time saved, money made or preserved, waste reduced, skill improved, relationship repaired. If nothing changed, you performed, you did not lead. 3, continuity, fruit that remains. This means your work transfers others can maintain the outcome without you standing there. Handover documents, train personnel, simple systems. John 15:16 again. That the fruit remains. Now add 2 of your own linked to your domain. For example, speed delivered within agreed timelines with margin. Integrity, truthful reporting, and ethical methods, even if it costs me. Or, joy, my work uplifts the people while it disciplines the process. Or, beauty, form, and function, present excellence that dignifies the recipient. Write this down. Leadership grade value equals clarity, change, and continuity, delivered with my 2 signature standards. This is how you grade yourself before the world grades you. Deployment lens. Say it with me. If they fire me, my gift goes with me. Again, if they fire me, my gift goes with me. This sentence you are writing should work on a street corner as powerfully as it works in a boardroom. That is deployment. Picture your employer disappearing tomorrow morning. Would your work stop? No. It would relocate. Paul made tents to fund mission, but his work was apostolic deployment. He could be in prison and still write letters that build churches. Write this down. My work survives environments. My gift creates environments. Test your statement by changing the container. Read it and ask, could I serve these people by this gift to produce this outcome at a community center, in a WhatsApp group, on a farm, in a classroom, online? If the answer is no, you are too dependent on a company's furniture. Refine until your work is portable. Your gift is your passport across industries, borders, and seasons. Now, we will craft the 25-word deliverable. Take your sentence and count every word. If you are above 25, kill adjectives. Delete very, really, just, and every word that makes you sound humble and hides your responsibility. Keep verbs that move. Keep nouns that specify. Keep the so that. If you are below 25, you may be vague. Add a descriptor to your people. First-time managers, post-incarceration fathers, refugee mothers, underfunded artists, STEM educators, rural clinics. Add specificity to your outcome. Launch plan, budget, integrity, literacy gains, reconciled teams, prototype tested, revenue recurring, hours reclaimed. Write this down. The world pays for nouns and verbs. It ignores adverbs. Count again. Aim for exactly 25. Why am I being so strict? Because leaders train precision. Your future partners, investors, spouses, and friends need to hear a sentence that does not waste their time. Let me give you more examples to spark your own. I serve first-time managers by coaching simple leadership rhythms to reduce chaos so that teams execute consistently, culture improves honestly, and attrition drops without gimmicks. I serve post-incarceration fathers by guiding job readiness and character formation to secure employment so that dignity returns, families reunite, and cycles of poverty break in neighborhoods. I serve refugee mothers by teaching micro-enterprise and digital literacy to increase income so that children eat, confidence rises, and communities integrate peacefully. I serve underfunded artists by building patron systems to stabilize revenue so that creativity flourishes, culture elevates, and cities retain beauty. I serve public school principals by installing data-driven routines to improve instruction so that literacy climbs, teachers thrive, and parents trust the school again. Each is 25 words built on the same spine, different domains, same deployment. Say it with me. My work speaks for me. Again, my work speaks for me. This is Proverbs 18. 16 inches of tie and sneakers. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Room is made by gift, not by gossiping about your gift. When your work is defined, people can find you. Bees don't wander looking for titles. They beeline to nectar. Produce nectar. Print your sentence. Put it on your phone, lock screen, read it 3 times a day for 30 days. Why? Joshua 1-8, meditate day and night. Mouth trains mind. Mind governs motion. Motion produces manifestation. Write this down. Repetition engraves permission. Every time you say it, your heart grants you authority to become it. Now, edit for faith. Some of you wrote what you think you can do based on your current salary and network. That is fear pretending to be wisdom. Stretch the outcome to match your design, not your current condition. Ephesians 3:20. Exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that works in us, not according to the budget that works around us. However, do not lie. Leaders do not prophesy what they are unwilling to plan. Match faith with formation. If your outcome is grow revenue, attach a method in your private plan. Simplify offers, tighten pipelines, train sales scripts, reduce churn. Your sentence is the banner. Your calendar is the battle. Write this down. Bold outcomes demand boring routines. Install the routine. Let's attach a simple measurement grid to your sentence. Before you serve, write down 3 baseline facts about your people related to your outcome. After you serve, measure the change. If your work is reduce burnout, baseline current sick days, overtime hours, and self-reported exhaustion. After 3 months, measure again. If your work is improve literacy, baseline reading levels, attendance, and homework completion. After your cycle, measure again. James 2:18 is watching. Don't tell the world you changed it. Show it a graph and add stories. Testimonies are fruit with faces. Revelation 12:11 says they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Testimonies convince hearts. Metrics convince heads. Leaders serve both. Now, speak your sentence out loud. Stand if you can. Shoulders back. Breathe. Say it as if you were drafted this morning by heaven to deliver to earth. Ready? Say, I serve people by using gift to produce outcome, so that transformation. Again, louder. Put your hand on your chest and say, I am not an accident. I am an assignment. My work is defined. My deployment is inevitable. Say it with me. The world needs what I carry. Again, the world needs what I carry. Let me confront a sneaky trap. Some of you wrote a sentence that flatters you but does not bind you. I inspire people to become their best so that the world is better. That is cotton candy. It dissolves on contact. Write this down. Vague words hide lazy minds. Replace inspire with train, coach, build, design, install, deliver. Replace people with the people. Replace world with the place. Replace better with the specific transformation. If you deliver inspiration, prove it by a behavior that changes by Tuesday. You are not a cloud of encouragement. You are an irrigation system. Revisit your no list now and finalize 5. Read them out loud. If your no's make you nervous, you're close. A boundary that doesn't cost you anything is a suggestion. Nehemiah's no protected a wall. Your no protects your work. Remember Jesus in Luke 4:40, 2:43. They tried to keep him in one town. He said, I must preach the kingdom of God to the other cities also, because for this purpose I have been sent. Purpose over popular demand. Write this down. I will disappoint people before I will disobey purpose. Finally, consecrate your standards. Make them visible. Under your 25-word statement, write your 5 standards as short declarations beginning with, I deliver. For example, I deliver clarity in writing. I deliver change measured and reported. I deliver continuity through trained replacements. I deliver within agreed timelines. I deliver with integrity, even when inconvenient. Put a checkbox next to each. Review after every assignment. If you missed one, write how you will correct it next time. Leaders love correction because correction increases capacity. Proverbs 9:8-9. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Your standards make you wise faster. I want to take 1 minute for identity anchoring. The Hebrew word for work and worship is the same family, avodah. Your work is worship. When you serve your gift to the people God gave you, with outcomes that matter and transformation that remains, you are worshiping. Romans 12:1 calls it reasonable service. Reasonable worship is practical excellence that smells like heaven and works on earth. Write this down. My excellence is incense. Mediocrity is an insult to my manufacturer. Therefore, I will deliver leadership grade value every time I function. Now, close your eyes and see yourself deploying tomorrow. See the people. See your gift flowing. See the outcome delivered. See the transformation seeded. And now, declare your sentence one more time, slow and steady. Let your heart memorize your mouth. Say it again, one last time. Good. That is your work statement. That is your calling card. That is your decision filter. Opportunities will knock. Put them against your sentence. If they align, yes. If they don't, Nehemiah 6:3, I am doing a great work. I cannot come down. Before you sit, I need you to seal it with a personal charge. Say it with me. I am his workmanship. I do his work. I serve my people by my gift to produce outcomes so that transformation remains. If employment ends, my work continues. I am not waiting to be hired. I am deployed. Now sit down and write it clean on one line. 25 words. Put the date. Sign your name. This is your covenant with your assignment. Remember, you will refine this as you function. The lion didn't roar perfectly the first time. He grew into his voice. You will sharpen through service. But tonight, you are no longer a wanderer with talent. You are a leader with work. And your work will make room for you. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Works they can see. Works they can see. A Father they will glorify. That is leadership. That is deployment. That is why you are here. Now, go finish your sentence, write your 5 no's, inscribe your 5 standards, and prepare your feet for swift obedience. Tomorrow will find you ready because tonight you defined your work. Leaders don't sleep on purpose. They steward it. Your work is waiting. The world is waiting. And heaven is watching for fruit. Now we plant what you just conceived. This is drill 4. 15 minutes to move from picture to path so your feet can obey your future. Write this down. Vision is more important than leadership. You heard me. Vision is more important than leadership. Why? Because leadership is a vehicle. Vision is the destination. A Rolls Royce with no destination is a beautiful waste. A bicycle with a clear destination beats a limousine that's lost. Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. In Hebrew, the word is kazon, prophetic revelation, mental sight, not eyesight, insight, foresight. Hindsight's redeemed. Sight shows you what is. Vision shows you what must be. Say it with me. Vision clarifies direction so my gift knows where to go. Write this down. If the blind lead the blind, both fall into a ditch. Jesus said that in Matthew 15:14. The problem isn't followers. The problem is leaders with no picture. The greatest danger in life is not to aim high and miss. It is to aim at nothing and hit it every day with perfection. Vision is the antidote to busyness without fruit. It is the compass for your assignment sentence. You wrote, I exist to end X by Y for Z. Now we must hand your gift a map. If you don't, your gift will be like a lion in a cage, majestic but stuck. Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith gives substance to a picture. Vision gives coordinates to faith. Write this down. Choose your picture first. Methods, obey pictures. Let me show you the difference between sight and vision so you never confuse them again. Sight stands on the shore, sees the waves, and says, it's stormy. Vision stands on the same shore, sees ships docking, warehouses full, children fed, contract signed, and says, build a harbor. Sight counts the bones in the valley. Vision hears the rattle and prophesies an army like Ezekiel in chapter 37. Sight saw a shepherd boy. Vision anointed a king in 1 Samuel 16. Sight says there are giants in the land. Vision says we are well able, like Caleb in Numbers 13. Write this down. Sight reports facts. Vision dictates future. Your assignment demands a dictator. Dictate your future. So here's the practicum. 3 movements. First, we paint the picture. Second, we carve 3 milestones. Third, we map the resources and name your first 3 moves. At the end of these 15 minutes, you will have a 1-page vision seed that your heart respects and your hands can run with. Habakkuk 2:2 again. Write the vision and make it plain, that he may run that reads it. If it isn't plain, you can't run. If it isn't written, you will drift. Write this down. Plain attracts partners. Fog repels help. Movement 1. The picture. Close your eyes for 10 seconds, and I want you to time travel. Not fantasy, future fact. It is exactly 12 months from today. Your assignment has been honored by your discipline. Fruit is visible. People are testifying. Systems are humming. Money is behaving. Peace is measurable. Now open your eyes and write a single paragraph in the present tense that describes that scene. Present tense, not I will, it is. Begin with it is, insert the date 1 year from now, and I see. Write what you see in full color. Who is in the room? What are they saying? How many are served? What did you build? What stopped breaking? What is the number in the bank for this work? What transformed at home because you stewarded time? Which faces carry dignity that used to carry shame? What did you stop doing to protect this picture? What did you start doing routinely? Put smells, sounds, and smiles on the page. If I read it, I must be able to close my eyes and walk inside your future with you. Let me help you with prompts. If your assignment sentence was personal ending chronic lateness by installing time stewardship, your vision picture might include it is April 28 next year and every meeting starts on time with an agenda. Our family calendar is synchronized. The children know their rhythm. Peace sits on breakfast like sunlight. Clients refer us because they trust our word to the minute. We don't apologize with discounts anymore. We deliver on schedule and invoice with confidence. If your sentence was industry-ending meetings without outcomes, your picture might include our weekly decision sprint logs show 52 weeks of decisions with owners and deadlines met. Project cycle time shrank by 35%. Profit rose because waste died. Teams smile in meetings because clarity replaced confusion. If your sentence was global ending fatherlessness for 100 boys with a Saturday coaching league, your picture might include 100 boys wear team shirts, 20 mentors know their names. Discipline improved at school. Mothers cry at graduations because they saw sons become men. Do you see it? Write it like it is done. Romans 4:17 says, God calls things that are not as though they were. You are made in His image. Call it done with your pen. Write this down. Pictures pilot performance. The human brain obeys images, not arguments. That's why God told Abraham in Genesis 13, 14, 15, lift up your eyes and look for all the land which you see, I give to you. God didn't give him a speech. He gave him a picture, stars and sand. If you can't see your next 12 months, don't expect your calendar to behave. Now, take 2 minutes. Write your 1-paragraph picture in present tense. Lace it with fruit. Use numbers where possible. Don't write poetry. Write clarity. Movement 2, milestones. Vision is a picture. Milestones make it a path. Write this down. A vision without milestones is a wish. A milestone without a date is a lie. We will choose 3 milestones for the next 12 months. Not 20, 3. Because focus is the friend of fruit. Think of milestones like highway exits that prove you're on the right road. When you pass exit 3, you know exit 4 is legitimate. Choose milestones that are measurable, dated, and owned. Measurable means numbers or binaries. Launched, not launched. 10 mentors trained, $25,000 saved, 300 children reading at grade level. 90% of meetings end with decisions published. Dated means there's a day on the calendar. Owned means somebody's name is beside it, you or a partner. Write this down. What you count will increase. What you date will arrive. What you own will move. You're going to write 3 lines. Milestone 1, a 90 day outcome. Milestone 2, a 180 day outcome. Milestone 3, a 365 day outcome. Or if your context requires different spacing, choose dates that are meaningful to your assignment, but keep them within a year. Attach numbers to each. Put a name beside each. If it's you, write your name. If it's someone else, write their name and confirm it this week. Let me give you examples to jumpstart your mind. Do not copy, customize. Personal lateness, example, milestone 190 days. Family and team time system installed, shared calendar live. Meeting agendas, templated. Buffer blocks scheduled. Tardiness incidents reduced by 80% from baseline. Owner, your name, date, insert date. Milestone 2, 180 days. On-time delivery rate to clients at 95% with post-project survey confirming. 2 team members trained to enforce stop lines. Owner, your name plus team lead, date. Insert. Milestone 3, 365 days. 12 months of on-time logs maintained. Client retention up 30%. 1 case study published. Owner, your name, date. Insert. Industry meetings, example, milestone 190 days. Replace weekly, 2-hour meeting with 4, 5-minute decision sprint. Publish minutes with owner and deadline every week for 12 consecutive weeks. Owner, ops manager, date. Insert. Milestone 2180 days. Project cycle time reduced by 20%. Eliminate 3 redundant reports. Owner, your name, date, insert. Milestone 3365 days. Profit margin increased by 8% from efficiency. Internal survey shows meeting effectiveness score is greater than 810. Owner, CFO, plus you, date, insert. Global fatherlessness, league example, milestone 190 days. Recruit and background check 20 mentors. Secure field access. Design 1 2-week curriculum. Owner, program director, date, insert. Milestone 2, 180 days. Launch league with 100 boys enrolled. Attendance average 85%. Weekly parent feedback collected. Owner, you plus coordinator. Date, insert. Milestone 3365 days. Documented outcomes. School discipline incidents down 40% among participants. 80% report improved identity statements. City grant secured for year 2. Owner, you. Date, insert. Write yours now. 3 lines. If you cannot add a number, you don't have a milestone, you have a mood. If you cannot add a date, you don't have a commitment, you have a hope. If you cannot add an owner, you don't have leadership, you have a wish list. Say it with me. Numbers are not secular, they are spiritual. God wrote a book called Numbers. Count like a king, steward like a queen. Movement 3, resources mapping first ask. Write this down. Provision follows vision. The money is in the assignment, not in the applause. The mentors appear when the student is clear. Partners come when the path is plain. Now, that's what you need under 4 headings. Mentors, tools, knowledge, partners. Mentors are people who have done what you're attempting or can save you years with 1 conversation. Tools are the tangible assets, software, equipment, templates, spaces, licenses. Knowledge is the specific understanding, gaps, legal requirements, safety protocols, pedagogy, budgeting. Partners are the people and organizations who will walk with you. Schools, churches, companies, civic groups, media, donors. Under mentors, write 3 names. Real names. If you don't know them personally, write their public names and a local proxy. Example, name, expert in time systems. Name, operations leader. Name, youth program director. Under tools, write what's essential for the first milestone only. Don't shop for year 3 when you haven't built month 3. Example, shared calendar, platform, agenda template, safety gear, background check service. Under knowledge, write the top 3 questions you must answer this month. Example, compliance requirements for mentoring minors in my city. Best practices for decision sprints. Budgeting a micro library. Under partners, write 5 organizations or individuals who benefit from your vision and can help. Example, the school principal, the local police youth liaison, a business owner who loves the community, a graphic designer, a space host. Now, assign first ask. Write this down. Vague hope is not an ask. An ask has a name, a date, an offer, and a benefit. Choose 3 high leverage asks you will make in the next 7 days. For each, write who, what, when, why, them, and the exact wording of the first sentence. Yes, scripted. Proverbs 16:1 says, the preparations of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. Prepare your heart by preparing your words. Example, Acts 1, who? Principal, Maria Lopez. What? 2 0-minute meeting to present Saturday League and request facility used for pilot. When? Tuesday, 10 a.m. Request sent by tonight. Why them? She's seen the behavior problem and wants solutions. First sentence, Principal Lopez, I'm proposing a no-cost Saturday coaching league that pairs 100 boys with 20 background check mentors to improve discipline and grades at your school within 1 semester. May I present a 1-2 minute plan this week? Example, ask 2, who? Operations Manager James. What? Approved shift from weekly 2-hour meeting to 4 5-minute decision sprint for 12 weeks. When? Thursday staff meeting. Why them? He owns the agenda. First sentence, James, I can return 40 hours of payroll to the company this quarter by replacing our 2-hour updates with a 4 and 5-minute decision sprint. Can I pilot it for 12 weeks with your sponsorship? Example, ask 3, who? Aunt Cheryl. What? Accountability partner for time stewardship. Exchange weekly calendar audits on Sunday night for 12 weeks. When? Invite tonight. Why them? She's punctual and loves you enough to tell truth. First sentence, Aunt Cheryl, I am ending chronic lateness in my life. Will you be my 1-2 week calendar auditor each Sunday night for 15 minutes to keep me honest? Write your 3 asks now. Names, dates, first sentences. If you can't write a first sentence, you don't know what you're asking. If you can't write a name, you are hiding behind networking. Leaders are specific. Say it with me. Plain attracts partners. Now we assemble your 1-page vision seed. At the top, write the word picture and paste your present tense paragraph from 12 months ahead. Middle of the page, write milestones. Then list your 3 with numbers, dates, and owners. At the bottom, write first 3 moves and list 3 actions you will execute within the next 72 hours that push milestone 1 forward. Not someday this week. Each move must be time-stamped. Not call Maria, but Tuesday, 10 a.m., email Principal Lopez with 1 2-minute deck attached, 3 p.m., draft agenda template for decision sprint, Thursday, 7 a.m. Block 90 minutes to build background check process. Along the right margin, write resources map with 4 headings. Mentors, tools, knowledge, partners. Put the 3 asks under it with their scheduled times. Then sign and date the page. Why all on 1 page? Because the heart respects simplicity. The subconscious is a child. Give it flashcards, not encyclopedias. Joshua 1:8. This book of the law shall not depart from your mouth. You shall meditate day and night. Keep it before your eyes. Put this page on your wall, on your phone, on your mirror. Read it morning and night for 30 days. Your neurology will begin to behave like your future. Write this down. Vision creates boundaries without bitterness. When your picture is clear, no becomes worship, not guilt. You say no to good things because you already said yes to a great thing. That's why we wrote a picture. That's why we chose 3 milestones, not 30. You are building a fence around your field so fruit can grow. Farmers do not apologize for fences. They apologize for trampled crops. Protect your picture. Jesus protected his. In Luke 9:51, it says, he set his face like flint to go to Jerusalem. That's a picture word. Flint is hard. His face was set. Set your face. Let me speak to your fear for a moment. You may be thinking, what if I miss a milestone? Write this down. Missing a milestone is data, not identity. Adjust course. Don't abandon calling. Airplanes are off course most of the time, but arrive because the pilot keeps correcting. Your milestones will correct you. The picture will anchor you. Your ask will assist you. Your gift will carry you. And your God will empower you. Isaiah 46:10, God declares the end from the beginning. He shows you the picture first, so your feet have a reason to endure the path. Remember the car. Who's the leader in a car? No one. And everyone. The steering wheel leads in direction. The brakes lead in safety. The engine leads in power. The $4 why leads in connection. In your vision page, the picture is the steering wheel. Your milestones are the speedometer. Your resources map is the fuel. Your first 3 moves are the ignition. Don't sit in a beautiful car admiring leather seats while the world starves for a delivery. Turn the key. Write this down. Static vision is vandalism. Vision must move. I want you to read your picture paragraph out loud once, right now. Hear your own voice. Prophesy your future. Say the dates. Say the numbers. Tell your heart where you live a year from today. Then put your finger on milestone 1 and whisper the date like an address. That is your next home. Put your finger on your first 3 moves and schedule them in your device while I'm speaking. Yes, right now. Left thumb, right brain. Leaders schedule in public because they refuse to let secrecy protect procrastination. Be doers of the word and not hearers only. James 1:22. Doing begins with a time stamp. Some of you need a quick calibration. Your milestones are about applause, not fruit. Edit them. Write this down. Vision is judged by fruit, not followers. Don't write 10,000 followers. Write 50 fathers trained to mentor 100 boys. Don't write viral video. Write decision sprint adopted across 3 departments. Saving 600 payroll hours. Fruit feeds people. Followers feed ego. Jesus cursed a tree with leaves and no fruit in Mark 11. Don't be leafy. Be juicy. And to my religious friends, let me provoke your spirit a little. You don't need another prophecy if you have no plan. God won't multiply confusion. He multiplies what you organize. Jesus told them to sit down in groups before he multiplied bread. Mark 6:39-41. Organization precedes multiplication. Write this down. Structure is spiritual. Your 1-page vision seed is a structure. Honor it and watch God breathe on it. Now, a brief quality check. Test your milestones with 3 questions. Are they aligned with your assignment sentence? If not, cut them. Alignment creates acceleration. Are they within your control or influence? If not, refine them to what you can move. Are they simple enough for a 1-2 year old to understand? If not, make them plain. Vision isn't supposed to impress, it's supposed to instruct. Make it plain that he may run that reads it. I hear someone thinking, but I don't have the money. Write this down. Money is the laziest resource. It follows movements, not meetings. Start with what you have where you are. Moses had a staff. David had a sling. The widow had a little oil. What do you have? A laptop, a phone, a room, 2 friends, a Saturday morning. Start there. Your first 3 moves should not need permission from a bank. They need permission from your belief. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. Change your belief and your capacity obeys. Let me give you a personal witness, not to impress you, but to instruct you. I used to sleep on the floor with roaches. My speedometer was set by poverty, by culture, by religion that worshiped waiting. Then I saw a picture. I wrote it. I placed milestones. I asked mentors. They didn't give me money. They gave me questions. Those questions changed my belief. My belief changed my discipline. My discipline produced fruit. Now I sit with presidents and paupers with the same message. Vision is more important than leadership. You don't need a title to change a city. You need a picture and the courage to plant it. Say it with me. I will plant my picture today. Now, take a pen and box the top right corner of your page. Inside that box, write 1, 2 month fruit. Under it, list 3 numbers that summarize your picture. Example, 100 boys mentored, 95% on-time delivery, $25,000 allocated to scholarships. Why? Because your mind loves scoreboards. When you wake up in the morning, look at your scoreboard. During the week, let it correct your yes and your no. At the end of the month, review and report to an accountability partner. Proverbs 27:23. Be diligent to know the state of your flocks. Numbers are your flocks. Count them. Finally, we seal this page with a breath and a decree. Place your hand over your heart. Say it with me. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. Vision is more important than leadership. My picture instructs my path. My milestones prove my progress. My asks attract my allies. My gift knows where to go. Again, louder. My gift knows where to go. Romans 8:19 says, the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. They are waiting for your fruit, not your feelings. Reveal yourself by producing. Before I close this drill, I want you to do one uncomfortable thing. Take a photo of your one-page vision seed and send it to one trusted person with this sentence. If you don't see me moving on milestone 1 by date, ask me why and don't let me lie. That's love. That's leadership. Ecclesiastes 4:9-10 says, 2 are better than 1. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. Let someone lift you by expecting you to move. Now breathe. Look at your page. This is a seed. Seeds look small, but nothing is larger than a seed when it is planted in obedience. Jesus said the kingdom is like a mustard seed, smallest at sowing, greatest at growing. Matthew 13:31-32. Plant this page in your calendar. Plant it in your conversations. Plant it in your budget. Plant it in your browser tabs. Plant it in your car. And do not dig it up to check if it's growing. Water it with action. Sun it with confession. Weed it with boundaries. God gives the increase. Write this down one last time. Vision clarifies direction, so your gift knows where to go. Without vision, your gift is a loaded truck with no address. With vision, your gift becomes a delivery system that feeds multitudes. You have the address now. You have the exits marked. You have fuel partners named. You have the ignition keys. First 3 moves. Turn them. Start the engine. And remember, you are the $4 wire in a world that stalls for lack of connection. Connect your picture to your practice. Connect your milestones to your Mondays. Connect your asks to your calendar. Then drive. In the next session, we will stack your actions and build your boundary fence so momentum is protected and outcomes are verified. For now, guard this page like seed in a drought. Hide it from cynicism. Expose it to faith. And when someone asks, where are you going? You will not answer with a title. You will point to your picture, recite your milestones, and show your moves. The world doesn't need another announcement. The world needs a delivery. Go plant. Now we move from inventory to impact. Deployment validates discovery. Write this down. Leadership is verified in deployment, small decisive moves that produce measurable fruit. James 1:22 says, be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. Deception is when revelation sits without execution. Not in this room. For the next 24 hours, you will act. Not next month, not when you feel led. The Spirit is leading. Obey. Here is your action stack, 3 moves in the next 24 hours. Say it with me. Schedule, send, publish. Again, schedule, send, publish. First, schedule a 90-minute deep work block. Not a chat, not a coffee drift. Deep work. Put it on your calendar right now within the next 24 hours, preferably in the morning when your brain is clean. Title it, Deployment Block Gift Haitian. Location, a door with a lock, a table with light, a phone on airplane mode. If you must, put a note on the door. In deployment interruptions, delay fruit. During this block, produce a single tangible deliverable aligned with your top gift. If your gift is clarity, write a one-page action plan for a real person or team with steps, owners, dates. If your gift is healing conversations, draft the 3 questions and schedule the session. If your gift is systems, map a simple process that removes 3 steps and saves 20 minutes. If your gift is persuasive narratives, write the problem solution story and its call to action. Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads it. Plain means executable. Run means measurable. Write this down. If I cannot run it, I did not write it. Second, send 2 asks. Leaders move by asking and acting. James 4:2 says, you have not because you ask not. Ask has shown is a service. Ask. Offer your gift to solve a specific problem for a specific person within a specific time. I can deliver value by date. No cost for this first pass. I want results and a testimonial if it helps. Are you open? Ask. Hash 2 is an access. Ask. Request one conversation or introduction that places your gift where problems live. Script. I help people like you achieve outcome. Could we book 15 minutes this week to see if there's a fit? If not you, who should I speak to? Send them before your deep word block or immediately after. Courage on send. Faith on follow-up. Write this down. Closed mouths restrict open heavens. Third, publish your work statement to your circle. You are done hiding. Matthew 5:15. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand. Put your statement where your people can see it. Email 12 trusted contacts. Post in your professional channel. Drop it in the team chat. Text your mentor. Include one fruit proof from your evidence file and one clear next step. If you or someone you know needs this, reply with the word fruit. The goal is not fame. It is filtration. You are announcing specificity so assignment can locate you. Write this down. Assignment finds what you announce. Now we build your boundary fence. Isaiah 5:2 tells of a vineyard. He fenced it. Proverbs 25:28 warns, a man without self-control is like a city broken down without walls. Fruit grows in fenced places. Write this down. Whatever you tolerate, you will never change. Identify 2 tolerations that steal your focus and eliminate them for the next 24 hours. It might be an app that devours concentration. Uninstall it, or at least move it off your home screen and turn on Do Not Disturb for your deployment block. It might be a meeting with no agenda. Decline it with honor. For our mutual effectiveness, I am rescheduling until we have a clear objective and outcome. It might be a relationship that requires you to be who you are no longer. Set a boundary today. I'm in a focused season. Here's when I'm available. Matthew 5:37 says, let your yes be yes and your no, no. Your fence is your no. Nehemiah built and posted watches at the gates. You must guard your gates, your eyes, ears, and time. Proverbs 4:23. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. Heart here includes your subconscious, your belief engine. Guard it by gating inputs. Write this down. Discipline is love for your future. We do not run without a lane, and we do not fight the air. 1 Corinthians 9:26. I do not run aimlessly. I do not box as one beating the air. So we install a scoreboard. Vanity metrics feed ego. Fruit metrics feed stewardship. John 15:8. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit. Fruit is people served, problem solved, value created. Write this down. Scoreboard equals person served, problem solved, value created in the next 24 hours. Define the numbers before you act. Persons served. Name at least one person who will receive your deliverable. Problem solved. Write the specific problem statement you will eliminate or reduce. Value created. Define a measurable result. Minutes saved, dollars preserved, errors reduced, courage increased, measured by a declared action taken. Clarity produced, measured by a decision made. Example, serve, operations lead. Problem, onboarding confusion. Value, a 3-step checklist that cuts setup time from 45 to 20 minutes. Or serve, young entrepreneur. Problem, pitch confusion. Value, a one-page narrative that secures one, yes. Then after action, record the receipt. Did the checklist reduce time? Did the narrative secure a yes? Luke 14:28 says, count the cost. I say also count the fruit. Write this down. If it cannot be counted, it struggles to be accountable. Next, team the engine. Leadership is not rank. It is function. Who's the leader? No one. And every engine needs a $4 wire. Ecclesiastes 4:9, two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. Enlist two people in miniature distributed leadership. One is an accountability partner who will check your deployment in 24 hours. Text them now. I will send you one receipt by time tomorrow. Ask me for it. The other is a complementary function, someone whose gift locks into yours like gears. If you deliver clarity, find an executor who loves checklists. If you deliver persuasion, find a data person who grounds your claims. If you deliver systems, find a storyteller who gets buy-in. Write this down. Complement multiplies competence. Agree on a micro collaboration for the week. You produce, they polish or distribute. Set a 10-minute daily stand-up for 5 days. What did I ship? What blocked me? What's next? No therapy, just traction. Remember the car. The battery shouts power, but a $4 terminal wire can shut the car down. Honor the wire. Finally, install cadence. Ephesians 5:16 says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Psalm 90:12. Teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Wisdom schedules what it values. Every week, a 30-minute review. Same time, same place, 4 checkpoints. Assignment. Am I still solving what I can no longer tolerate? Gift. Did I deploy gift? Has shown at least once where fruit is possible. Vision seed. Did I move the picture to a path one step forward? Fruit. What receipts did I collect? Adjust by data, not drama. If you bear fruit in an area, double it. If you don't, diagnose wrong person, wrong problem, wrong pitch, or wrong timing. Habakkuk said, make it plain so we can run. Your cadence keeps it plain. Write this down. Rhythm beats hype. Data beats drama. Consistency beats intensity. Let me give you language for your 4-hour report. At the end of your block, send 3 lines to your accountability partner. Deployed. Gift function to person. Problem stated. Receipt. Measure result +1. Quote. Example. Deployed. Clarity to action for ops lead. Problem. Onboarding confusion. Receipt. Checklist reduced setup to 22 minutes. Ops lead texted, I can finally breathe. That's a fruit fingerprint. That's leadership. Before you close your eyes tonight, pre-decide your fence for tomorrow. Remove 1 tolerance each day this week. Apps on silent. Meetings with agendas or not at all. Conversations with covenant or with distance. Nehemiah said, I am doing a great work so that I cannot come down. Nehemiah 6:3. Say it with me. I cannot come down. Again. I cannot come down. You are not being rude. You are being responsible. Your yes to assignment necessitates your no to distraction. For the hesitant heart, let me father you. Fear is loud before fruit. It grows quiet after. Move your hand and your heart will follow. Mark 1:35 shows Jesus rising early to a solitary place, deep work with the Father. Then he said, let us go. For this purpose I have come. Purpose clarifies when solitude is guarded. Guard your 90 minutes and your mouth will speak with authority again. You do not need a stage to start. You need a start to find a stage. Write this down. Start small, start specific, start now. Lift your head. Declare this with me. In the next 24 hours, I will schedule, I will send, I will publish, I will fence my vineyard, I will run a scoreboard, I will team my engine, I will keep cadence. Not theory fruit. Again, not theory fruit. The world is not waiting for your intention, it is waiting for your intervention. A man's gift makes room for him. Proverbs 18:16. Rooms are opening. Doors respond to knocks. Mountains move for movers. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Leadership is not what you say. It is what your fruit says after you leave the room. Go now. Put the 90 minutes on the calendar. Send the 2 ads. Publish a statement. Build a fence. Name the scoreboard. Text the 2 teammates. And tomorrow, return with a receipt. Heaven honors faith. Earth respects results. Show both. Now we seal this night. Stretch your shoulders back. Breathe like a person who just met their future. This is not entertainment. This is a commissioning. Write this down. Commissioning is heaven's authorization to move in your assignment with measurable intent. You are not leaving a room. You are entering a role. Say it with me slowly, like a verdict. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Again, louder. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. One more time until it cuts through culture and lands in your cells. You are not an accident. You are an assignment. Genesis 1:26 still stands. Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion. Image, likeness, dominion. That is identity before activity. You are not here to find something to do. You are here to express who you are. John 15:16 is your appointment letter. I chose you and appointed you to go and bear fruit, fruit that remains. Appointment means authorization. Fruit that remains means verification. Proverbs 18:16 is heaven's marketing plan. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. Room is made by fruit, not by flattery. Lift your head and decree with me until your nervous system believes it. The world needs me. Again, the world needs me. Say it like you're canceling your own apology. The world needs me. Last time, from the gut, the world needs me. Write this down. Speak who you are. Show what you have. And serve until your fruit makes room for you. That is your mandate. Not tomorrow now. Leadership is verified in deployment. Jesus cursed a tree that had leaves with no figs. Mark 11:14. Leaves are hype. Fruit is leadership. Stop arranging your leaves. Show your figs. Attraction follows fruit, not noise. Bees don't chase press releases. They come to nectar, produce nectar. This week, say it with me, this week, I will show my work. Again, this week, I will show my work. No secret geniuses in the kingdom. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works. Matthew 5:16. See, not sense. See, here is your charge, clear and simple. In the next 7 days, present your 25-word work statement to 3 specific people from your audience and serve them one outcome at a micro scale. Don't sell hours, deliver a result. Document the before and the after. 1 page, 1 photo, 1 metric. Post it to the place where your people live online, in your community, in your workplace, without boasting, without begging, just fruit. Write this down. Fruit is evidence. Evidence is influence. Influence is leadership. If you are afraid, that is illegal in this room. 2 Timothy 1:7. God has not given us a spirit of fear. He gave you power, love, and a disciplined mind. Use all 3. Make the call. Book the room. Send the file. Plant the seed. Now your consistency plan. Say it with me. Immersion beats inspiration. Again, immersion beats inspiration. Assemble a study pack and live in it for 30 days because your mind is the engine that drives your deployment. Identity. Read and recite Genesis 1:2, Psalm 8-4-6, and Ephesians 2:10 every morning. Gift deployment. Meditate on Romans 12-6-8, 1 Corinthians 12, Proverbs 18:16 every afternoon. Vision crafting. Copy Habakkuk 2-2, 3, and Nehemiah 6-3 by hand every evening. Add Mark 1:35 to protect your boundaries. Listen to these sessions daily while you walk. Rewrite your 25 words every Sunday after measuring fruit. Journal 1 paragraph. What did I deliver? What remained? What will I improve? Write this down. Repetition engraves permission. Discipline converts permission into performance. I am going to ask you to multiply immediately. Leaders don't hoard revelation. They harvest it. In the next 7 days, invite 2 emerging leaders, 2, not 10, to run the 4 drills with you. Assignment, audit, gift, inventory, work statement, vision seed, 1 hour each. Don't preach, facilitate. Let them write. Let them speak. Then walk with them for 2 weeks to deliver 1 outcome each. That is movement through multiplication. 2, Timothy 2:2 says, commit these to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. That is 4 generations in 1 sentence. If what you received dies with you, it wasn't leadership, it was therapy. Write this down. Legacy is leadership reproduced, not leadership remembered. Guard your commission with your boundary fence. Your 5 no's are now your shield. Nehemiah said, I am doing a great work, I cannot come down. Nehemiah 6:3. Say this after me. I will disappoint people before I will disobey purpose. Again, louder. If you violate your fence, you will sabotage your fruit. Jesus refused to be made king by force. John 6:15. He loved people and still walked away to stay on assignment. Needs are endless. Assignment is specific. Leaders are not saviors. They are stewards of a slice. Steward your slice. I want you to anchor this in your body now. Put your hand on your heart. Repeat. I am not an accident. I am an assignment. My image is his image. My likeness mirrors his nature. My dominion is my design. My gift is my vehicle. My vision is my navigation. My fruit is my verification. Again, shorter and stronger. I speak who I am. I show what I have. I serve until fruit remains. One more time. I speak who I am. I show what I have. I serve until fruit remains. Let me declare the charge over you. I charge you by the authority of the word. Walk in the image that made you, the likeness that shapes you, and the dominion that awaits your obedience. I charge you to end toleration. Leadership is born when toleration ends. What you refuse to tolerate, you are anointed to transform. I charge you to measure your work, to honor your standards, to refine your systems, and to protect your focus. I charge you to be a walking billboard of the kingdom. Clean hands, clear eyes, quick feet, and steady heart. When they ask who sent you, say, the King. When they ask for your credentials, show them your fruit. When they try to rename you with titles, smile and function. Who's the leader? No one. And everyone who functions in design and delivers fruit. And now, hear the blessing that accompanies deployment. The Lord, open doors your gift can fit. The Lord bring you before great men, not for applause, but for assignment. The Lord cause your fruit to remain and reproduce. The Lord give you favor with your people and courage against your distractions. The Lord make your yes sharp and your no safe. May your outcomes be visible, your transformation undeniable, your integrity unshakable. May your standards correct you faster than critics can catch you. May your excellence be incense. May your joy be strength. May your work be worship. Lift your voice one final time. Say it until atmosphere shifts. The world needs me. Again, one more time. Now say your name and add this sentence. Has been deployed. Say it. Breathe. That is not hype. That is heaven's headline over you. Jesus said, as the Father has sent me, I also send you. John 20:21. Sent ones don't hide. Sent ones don't stall. Sent ones don't beg for titles. They serve until fruit introduces them. Go now with clarity in your mouth, conviction in your mind, compassion in your hands, and courage in your feet. If employment ends, your work continues. If applause fades, your fruit speaks. Speak who you are. Show what you have. Serve until your fruit makes room for you. I commission you in the name of the King. Now go and do the work.